All right, and we're back here once again at In Your Head Wrestling Radio on the internet icon, the pride of the pilgrims, the most honest man in all of podcasting, handsome Jackie Jones, along with my right hand man, my audio soulmate, the hot dog of podcasting.
Hot dogging it, baby. That's what Arn Anderson would always say to Randy Orton. Don't go out there and hot dog it. At least I
Slow it
think.
down.
At least in my mind, that's what he said. But I don't know if it's true or not. But I am 1 inch biceps.
You almost forgot.
The boss, baby. The power goat. Ah, ha ha. Sorry. I was trying to get the YouTube up so I could see the chat at the same time, and I was making sure everything was right with that. So,
all right. So you're having some corn dogs before the show, I heard.
corn doggies.
I remember Brother Love telling a story about corn dogs. And McMahon was not happy that he was eating corn dogs.
Oh,
he's
God.
like, how can you put something in your body that they have to let drain? He's like, after they took him out of the fryer, they let him drain.
That was the big gripe.
Yeah,
they gotta let like French fries drain, and
yeah, I don't think he eats that either.
Oh, he probably eats something that's deep fried. I
don't think so.
Corn nuts.
I doubt it. I think he just eats like egg whites and turkey meat.
Yeah, that ain't no good. How could he only do that? Stephen Butler's in the chat. Jonathan Jackson, Vic Schiavone. You guys, everybody, see, they're having fun in the chat.
It's the trifecta. So if you're listening live, you're in the chat. But if you're listening later on, remember Tuesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, or whenever Incher decides to show up. Come on over to the IY Wrestling on YouTube and subscribe, hit the little bell icon, and it's good to go. We're way back on the podcast, and I was going to set them up, but iTunes has some kind of issue where they're backed up, and so it's hard to update. I've updated a bunch of Without Your Head ones, and they haven't showed up in weeks. So they're aware of the problem, but they ain't doing shit about it. But from what I heard through the grapevine, they're going to launch like a pay thing. You think if they're going to do a pay one, they should make sure that's working.
Yeah, if they're going to start charging
for
money
this to work at all. But the thing is, just go to Spotify. You can listen to the show on Spotify. We can skip iTunes altogether.
He says I had his name right the first time. Vic Schiavone.
It's not Schiavone.
Schiavone.
Yeah, Schiavone.
Schiavone.
Vic Schiavone. Hey, I got the spicy meatball. I had a meatball today. A meatball sub.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, split a meatball sub with my brother.
You went to the Subway, didn't you?
No, not a fan of the Subway.
I knew you would say that. That's why I suggested it.
It was good. I haven't had a bread in a long time. Well, besides pizza once in a while, but it was good. Dug it. But we're here to talk about the wrestling. There was a big pay-per-view this weekend.
Yes,
AEW Double or Nothing. We had a crowd back, which say right off the bat adds so much to the show.
Most definitely.
Like night and day.
Oh, yeah. It's nice to see the people back in the arenas, and I know WWE is going to get back to that shortly, but it's good because we had it with WrestleMania, and that was nice. But if the numbers start going up, though, I think they're going to take it all away. I think they're going to be like, nope, we got to pull it back. We got to pull out the reins, more than likely. But we'll have to see how the numbers go, so everybody get vaccinated. Let's get these numbers down.
Yeah, you say that, but half our audience is going to be pissed at you for saying it. And me, I agree with you. I haven't got my vaccine.
Well, I mean,
when it came out. So.
if you don't get vaccinated, you can't get in the big prizes that you might win if you don't. You might get a truck, you might get a rifle, you may get $100. Your government's just giving you this stuff if you get vaccinated. Go out there and get it now.
My mom, she was on the internet and she started laughing. She's like, you know what? I was going to say WV, but she doesn't call it the WV. She says West Virginia's given away as prizes to get the vaccination. And my guess, this is a true story. I said, hot dogs. And she's like, no, guns, trucks, and cash. And I think cash is probably universal for anybody, but the guns and I almost said guns and God, but I don't know how you'd give someone God. But guns and trucks, that was pretty funny.
Mm-hmm. God is for free. But I will say
not
that
completely. I'll mention something here in a second. But go on.
No. You don't need to get on a tangent, you damn heathen.
No, I go for walks, as everyone knows, and I like to explore the cemeteries. And I was walking through. There's a big Catholic cemetery near me.
Yeah,
and I'm walking through it. And there's different sections of the Catholic cemetery. There's actual part
section, so you hit on all cylinders here.
So there's a part that's like undesecrated ground. So like if you were for suicides and stuff, like they bury them in this section that does like they didn't bless the ground. I was like, holy shit, that's kind of fucked up. They have their own section. I think if I was them, I would just have my loved one buried somewhere else, so they're not like set. But whatever. And then a real dark part of the place is they have a place for stillborns.
Yeah,
and some of them have the names of some of them just say baby. So there's a whole bunch of just these little tombstones just say baby, and I'm like, this is pretty creepy. Mm-hmm. And one of them gave me an idea for like a whole horror movie. Because one of them, a lot of them have little baby lambs atop of the tombstone, and one of them was a decapitated lamb. So I don't know if it fell off by itself or someone decapitated, but I was like, that's kind of creepy. A decapitated
vandalism.
Yeah, decapitated lamb on this baby's thing. Yeah. That was creepy. So that was that. Yeah, that's shitty anyway. Because we have some of the oldest cemeteries in the country here on the Cape. There's some from the 1600s. But anyway. So it's different parts, and then some walking and looking around, and it's cool. And there's one that's called the Resurrection, and there's one called, I forget the other name of it. So I was like, I wonder what this means. So I looked it up, and basically, if you pay extra money, when you're buried in the Catholic cemetery, you can be buried in the resurrection section, and like they'll guarantee that you'll resurrect. And then the other one, I forget, it's like not levitation, but something. And if you pay extra money buried there, you're guaranteed to go to heaven. And I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Like reincarnation or?
Yeah, I don't know. Resurrection. Yeah.
I don't understand that. Like that you'll be delivered to heaven?
Well, there's two of them. One was go to heaven and the other one was resurrection.
We don't believe in resurrection though.
That's one of the parts. Well, yeah, because Jesus was resurrected.
Well, just Jesus, but not just everybody can be resurrected. And that's the only like resurrection that is acknowledged. But that's not like part of the Catholic religion, as far as I know.
It's a whole section of the cemetery.
I don't know what cemetery you were in.
I have a lot of Catholics here where I live.
Yeah, I know, but do you want me to get my mom down here? You want her to officiate?
I don't care. I mean,
she doesn't want to be down here. She does. I don't want to introduce her to this world. It's crazy world.
But yeah, but you know what? AEW Double or Nothing. I thought this was. I had a great time. I was to say it. This was awesome. I think not a bad match. A fun show. I had fun the whole 5 hours, and I had fun the whole time.
Yeah, it was a good event. I enjoyed myself. A lot of good stuff for this pay-per-view.
So what started on the pre-show, I thought the Battle Royal would be on the pre-show, but it wasn't. So I was expecting maybe a big surprise in there, which we'll get to in a minute. But Serena Deeb versus Rio. I thought this was an excellent match. I've seen them work together before, and I think they work really well together. I'm not as negative on Rio as some people are. I actually usually like her match. And I also think when she's fighting Deeb, she doesn't, sometimes she's wrestling someone very big, she looks a little out of place. I actually kind of like the underdog element of wrestling, so it works for me. But Serena Deeb's a very small woman, so she's bigger than her, but not like where it looks like that she would just destroy her. Mm-hmm. Good match.
I did not see this one. I didn't see the pre-show. But...
Really good, though. Very good. Mm-hmm. I'm a big Serena Deeb fan. I think she would, they have all the factions. I actually think she would benefit being part of a faction because she's missing a little on the charisma side, and she's really bad on promos. That's her biggest weakness, I would say. I think if she was part of a group that could talk for her and she could, I think that would be beneficial to her. I don't know. I guess she's part of the NWA, so I don't know if she's considered really on the
actual AEW talent. So.
Yeah. But she's very good.
That does work against her. So
they should hire her. She's excellent. I people always keep rag on the AEW women's division, and I think there was a time it was pretty bad. But I have no complaints about it now. They have a lot of good women, I think. And if you had someone like Serena Deeb, and if Tessa Blanchard does come in, you know that just adds more to it. So the match opened the show opened super hot. The actual show, Adam Page and Brian Cage. I've been vocal. I'm not a huge Brian Cage fan. He had a great match with Darby Allin not that long ago, and this I think was his best match I've seen.
Most definitely.
Part of it was, the crowd being there. They were so happy to see wrestling. And these guys were just, both of them going all out.
Yeah, I like Brian Cage. The bits that I've seen him in Impact Wrestling, I thought he could have some good matches when it came to like a big show and everything. So I do like him. Yeah. So.
Yeah, this is excellent. Two big dudes who can really go. Lots of fire. Really got the crowd into it. Good stuff. The only thing I would say negative is I thought Brian Cage's gear that he came to the ring with looked stupid. But besides that, the match is great.
He did something like that, but it was more Terminator-esque. It wasn't exactly like that in Impact. So yeah. I think it looked better, but maybe they told him he couldn't do that or something. I don't know.
And they continue with the tease that he's going to leave Team Taz and become a babyface. I think he would be a good babyface. He's big, looks cool, and has all the cool moves that people get into, especially now with the crowd. And Adam Page, a star. He was a guy they went to push real heavy. The first show was in the title match, and I didn't think he was ready. But he's really grown into that. I think he's one of the better guys. Young Bucks and Kingston and Moxley. You could just tell how happy Moxley and Kingston, especially Moxley, but both of them were to come out with a real crowd there.
Yeah, he was walking through the crowd and stuff, and it was good times. Yeah, throwing chairs. He looked angry as he could be, but I think that means he's happy.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of the Eddie Kingston Moxley team. I was actually
you want to think they would go together very well, but they actually do work. So
yeah, they really play off each other both in the ring and as personalities. I think it's a really good match. But Young Bucks, I have no problem with them. I was rooting for Kingston and Moxley, but the Young Bucks are really on fire right now as bad guys, I think. Seals.
Yeah. I like that they're promoting that they have really expensive shoes and that they get stolen. And
I don't know if you know this, but Jason Mitten is a big shoe mark. When we went to England, he had I think he brought one pair of pants and 2 shirts and 6 pairs of sneakers. And I was like, this is very weird.
6 pairs of sneakers?
Yeah.
My goodness.
Isn't that weird? I can see maybe 2, one you're walking sneakers and then maybe something a little dressy or, if we go out.
I did have a shoe accident on one of our excursions. So, and it was good that I had a backup pair of shoes that I could wear.
He's like, he didn't have backup pants. What if he ripped his pants and shit his pants?
You don't want to. You could have accidents too.
Yeah,
accidents.
That was crazy. I think one of the sneakers he paid like 18 grand for too, just like the Young Bucks.
18 grand? What kind of sneaker was
that might be, that's alleged, that part, but he did have 6 pairs of sneakers on.
Well, I can't really say much. I like spending money on huge things that are just sitting around. And
I got some heat on Facebook because I posted this, and it's a true statement. True statement by me, but personal opinion. I like cheap sunglasses. I've said this before on the show. I usually never spend more than $5 on sunglasses. Sometimes I spend a little more, but not a lot. Most expensive one I have real wood ones made out of bamboo. I like those, but they still I didn't pay a lot for them. And I just don't understand people who spend they like the Ray-Bans like $1,000, hundreds of dollars on sunglasses because you can lose them. And I don't really even know, who cares, And but people really, it was kind of a throwaway statement. I thought it was kind of funny. But some people got heated. They got mad. They're like, I love my Ray-Bans. And then one person like, well, they're cheap ones. They don't protect your eyes from. It's like, come on, don't give me this bullshit. Then I went to the store because they said the cheap ones are not polarized. At the dollar store, the $1 sunglasses were polarized. $5 sunglasses polarized. So don't give me this bullshit. You just want to wear cool sunglasses. That's fine. That's your own prerogative. But don't try to give me some bullshit and tell me
what's polarized mean. Doesn't mean the sun doesn't come through like the UV rays or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I mean, you can get cheap ones that are polarized. Just a bunch of bullshit.
Just a bunch of hooey. Dewey and Louie.
So another good match. The Battle Royal, I'll be honest,
it's kind of all over the place.
Yeah, it was a little weird because they had some guys I really liked in it who got eliminated very fast. And then they had not so many people I didn't like last a long time, but it's kind of there was just some weird stuff. They had some people that, were kind of job guys, which is fine when you have this many people. But some of the hot guys, good thing too about this whole show and going forward with the crowd, you'll be able to gauge who is actually over with the crowd now. Yeah. It helps a lot of guys like Orange Cassidy immensely, which we'll get into here in a minute. But a guy that Mitten, who's completely wrong with, is the rapping guy from what's his name, Max Caster, I think.
Yeah, I think he's Caster, Max Caster.
This guy's really over with the crowd because his intro is money.
Yeah, his rapping's getting over for sure.
Yeah, and with the crowd, you can see it now.
He has a lot of what he comes up with is really good when he's coming to the ring. But
great lines.
I do get the feeling it's kind of John Cena-esque because that's exactly what John Cena was doing. But I think he is
John
making
Cena
it.
Didn't invent rapping.
Well, yeah, I know, but I was just saying I think he is making it his own kind of thing. But
yeah, it's money. It works. Great lines. Very funny guy. It was funny because not to pick on Mitten, but just to show, he's not, the brightest. He was, and no offense to Jason Mitten, but he was like, this guy, he should have a mouthpiece, this group. They shouldn't ever talk. And I'm like, that's that's the whole reason they're there. If the guy wasn't talking, they would just be a nothing team. They'd be fine, but they wouldn't stand out in any way. That's on the level of, when McMahon was like, let's have Stone Cold a mute.
Yeah,
that's the calling card of the team. So anyway, I just like to smack him around once in a while. But
I don't get it. You smack your young boys around and they're so loyal, but mine, he's telling me it wasn't his wife's birthday the day I was wishing her happy birthday.
That's because you let him loose. No discipline.
I mean, if I say it's his wife's birthday, it should be his wife's birthday. I mean,
My mom got a birthday card today.
Oh, yeah?
And her birthday was October 4th.
It wasn't me. Did it say who it was from?
Super late, or they're very early. Like some bingo place sent her birthday card.
Oh. Maybe they didn't have any at the time or something, or they're just catching up. Maybe they're out for COVID.
It was open. Maybe they sent it, 8 months ago. Someone kept it and they just decided to send it. I don't know. But anyway. Possible. So there was a lot of eliminations early that the crowd didn't like. They booed, because they were into these people. It was weird. Christian and Hobbs go out of the ring for an extended period of time. This was bad for a few things, I think, because then immediately when they get back in the ring, Hobbs is thrown out like not very long after. So you had this big rest period, and he didn't even last that long after. That doesn't make a lot of sense. And it's a terrible spot for a guy whose gimmick is he outworks everyone. If he outworks everyone, he can't take a 20-minute break in a battle royal. He has to stay in this whole match. I hate that gimmick. I don't like the moniker. It really hurts me from getting behind Christian. I don't like just outwork everybody.
Yeah, and soon, whenever I release the Christian blocker 2000 or whatever I'm going to decide on the final name, I think I've revised my plans for, because you can't necessarily take a dot and just leave it on your screen and it's always going to be in the same place. You're going to have to be able to move with it. So I'm thinking about putting something on like a stick where you can hold it over Christian's face and you won't have to see his face when you're watching AEW. I mean, it's fine. I mean, it's great because, like, I know you'll probably get into matches and then all of a sudden Christian Cage comes out and you're like, oh no, not that face. I can't stare at his face. So you'll have your own censor button that you can have. That's just you gotta be able to focus it on his face though and keep it blocked out. But I think it's going to be a big product.
I didn't mention this, but Mitten brings up in the chat, I didn't want to embarrass him. He also had no comb, so he combed his hair the whole week we were in England with a fork. This is not made up. This is not me having a joke. This is the Kentucky way.
I know Lionel Hutz from The Simpsons, who is a fictional character. He would comb his hair with a fork, but
really,
yeah. But Jason Mitten, yeah, that's not good. Combing your hair with a fork.
Yeah, then he'd eat his falafel with it.
Did you ever think about doing an Abby on him, like digging the fork in?
That'll be good. Teach him a lesson.
Keep him in line. Keep him in line.
Raider Dre has a question. Hey, Jack, question about the Cape. Is Scott's the best? For people who follow my Facebook, I go to Captain Scott's a lot. Is it the best in my area? It's my favorite local place. The food is very good and great value for your money. So it's up there. It's my personal favorite place. Best, if I had to pick one best food, well, it's up there. I would also suggest Fatty's if you want burritos, and it's basically just takeout place burritos, great. And if you want a more higher end plate, a sit down restaurant, I would say Tomatoes. If you want Italian, get the veal saltimbocca. If you eat veal,
there you go.
So it came down to Jungle Boy and Christian, and I really thought it was a foregone conclusion Christian was going to win, but I was pleasantly surprised, and Jungle Boy won. That whole end segment made the match enjoyable, though. It was very good the last few minutes.
Don't forget the big surprise that JR said, and here comes our big surprise.
Yeah, Leo Rush. I have nothing against Leo Rush. I actually think that's a fine pickup for the company. He's a talented guy. He's a high-flying dude. He's got charisma. But it's like the Ethan Page thing. He can't be, a surprise. Just say Leo Rush is in it, making his debut.
Yeah. Then there's another big surprise on the show, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah, we can bring it up now. I'm not sure when it happened. If you want to bring it up,
Me neither. But yeah, Mark Henry, he has joined AEW as a commentator. Why do they want all these guys just as commentators? I mean, I know they're not like great in the ring because they're older dudes.
yeah, I think he's too old to wrestle. Well, I don't know. I because Jericho said he hopes he wrestles. I hope he doesn't. But it's not even so. Like if you needed an announcer, I get it, a commentator, but they're like stock full of commentators.
Got a lot. You mentioned somebody getting in trouble for something, talking about like Sheeta's accent
Willie
or something.
Urbina or something. I don't even know who this guy is.
Will Arbina or
yeah,
I've heard that name.
And then Al Oop was saying, like, I used to make fun of this guy. I don't think I've ever heard of him. I mean, I guess it's possible.
There was the one that was who started with the company. It wasn't his name like Dave or something like that, or he's still around because the Super Bucks.
Oh, Dave Marquez. Yeah, he's terrible.
Well, the Young Bucks kicked him.
Yeah, Dave Marquez. I think it's Marquez. Yeah, he's awful.
I was thinking that was the NWA guy though. I'm getting confused. But anyways.
Or Marvez. Dave
Marvez. Was it Marvez? That's it. Yeah.
Alex Marvez, something. I don't know.
Alex Marvez, I think is what it is. Or if you say another name, I'll say that's the name.
Fuck that guy.
But yeah. Why would he do that? I mean, where did this take place? Was it on?
It was like Willie Urbina, and he made fun of Sheeta's, her accent, Asian accent.
Yeah.
I am curious how a Hispanic guy, what the Hispanic version of mocking an Asian voice is like. Does it have a Spanish accent, a Mexican accent?
But was it something on air, or was it something?
Yeah, it was on air. Okay, I'll be honest. Am I like, oh my god, no? But you have to be completely oblivious to the world. You have to be totally out of touch of society and the world you live in to not know this is not the thing to do in this time.
Yeah.
Especially currently with all the Stop Asian Hate campaign. I mean,
yeah. And I've heard that
dumb.
This is a rumor, but I heard that she might possibly be with Omega, either seeing each other, but I don't know if it's true or not.
I don't. I mean, to me, that shouldn't even matter one way or the other.
But I mean,
you have to be really stupid to do this not today.
Yeah. So maybe he just wanted fired.
I doubt it.
You're a savior to our eyes, OIB. Jonathan Jackson. Thank you, sir. What's that for? He's saying I'm just handsome.
Probably jerking off to you.
Oh my.
So Mark Henry. So if they sign Kane, they'll have the trifecta of the big guys of the last decade that I could not possibly care less about.
Raider Dre 420 has a question for me. He says, do you own Pinbot machine, like the Pinbot pinball? But no, I do not, but I would like to have one. It is a good game.
I have it. I got a couple of them.
Do you? Why don't you give me one? Well, that's not how friends treat each other. You should just give me all your worldly possessions for nothing. See, it's not as bad without the mask, but it's a little creepy, but not quite as bad with the mask. Yeah, but the show is really good. I enjoyed a lot of it, and I was happy to see Jungle Boy go on and win the match, and Christian Cage telling him like, you make this your number one, you really get that title and all that, but gave him a pep talk to show how good of a guy he was after he got outworked.
Yeah, no, this was good. Kudos to Christian. That's a good way to use him. I'm not totally against him. Like we said, we'll give him a chance. I really wish he would drop that work, everyone. It's hard for me to get around that.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't fit the company. Like, it doesn't fit him and it doesn't fit the company. It's a company known for like for the work rate. And he's not like the greatest worker I've ever thought of.
No, he's never been known as like this guy who's like the greatest worker. I mean, he's never been considered bad, I don't think.
But... No, not at all. Not at all. But never even like in the thought, like this is one of the best workers. Like no one's... I know someone's going to say, oh, that's what Brother Love said on a podcast. Well, that's great. Good for him. But he also thinks, Red Rooster was a great gimmick that he wasn't embraced. I mean, come on.
He was on the Mick Foley documentary on A&E, and I watched it, and I just thought, oh God, I just can't stand that guy. And he was talking about like we, as in him being WWE, like we're so happy to get a hold of Mick Foley, and I was just like, oh Jesus. I mean, he was fired just a couple months ago. You know?
I didn't see that one yet. I caught up on a couple, but I noticed that I thought they were saying thiefdom, but it was fiefdom. But both Brother Love and Vince said this word fiefdom. They kept calling like all the territories back then. They all had their fiefdom, and I was like, when did no one ever uses this word? And the fact that they both used it, it has to be like something like, they always have these weird buzzwords. Like I assume Vince like told people to start calling like all the territories fiefdoms. It just sounded very bizarre. I thought he said fiefdoms at first. I thought he was calling everyone little thieves or something.
Kind of like Ultimate Warrior's word. What was it? Like honest septity or something, or
something Trucity.
Trucity or something.
Destrucity. Destrucities. Destiny.
Destrucity.
And I don't know.
Something like the truth in between destiny or something. I forget how it went, but
an honest, I don't know. What a fucking moron.
It was Destrucity, Jack.
I honestly never a fan of his as a wrestler.
I wasn't.
But the more I know about him as a person, not a fan of him as a person either. The worst I can get over someone not being a great wrestler, but not a good man. I knew this years ago when he was still kicking and was on the internet, and the stuff all they showed, I read at the time when he was putting out there.
Oh yeah, I remember when that whole thing happened at the college and all that. Like I remember when that first came. I mean, weren't we doing the show then?
Yeah,
I think we were.
Yeah,
and
and the stuff about Heenan, Cornette. Yeah. Sometimes I don't put it with Cornette, but Cornette, he did on his show because I listened to the clip, and he had some even worse stuff that he said that didn't make the TV show. So. And it's out there.
I'll say though, at the end of his life, they did kind of say he was trying to make amends with a lot of people with Jake Roberts. At least that's what Jake Roberts says. He won't have any.
How true this is? I don't know how true any of that stuff is, but I'll say this though: I do think he thought he was dying. I think that's why he came back and did the Hall of Fame. Yeah. I think he knew he was going to die soon. I mean, not like literally the next day after the Raw, but I think he was,
Like it seems like he had that looming over him because a lot of family members would tell him that like the men in his family don't last very long. But yeah. And I will say I did watch the Vice one, and I think it was probably an uncommon thing for like an ex-husband to like apologize to their wife. Like
that was a nice moment. I thought the Vice one was a lot better.
I didn't mind the A&E one. I thought it was good.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
I thought they're both good in their own ways. I mean, I don't see why the A&E one.
I didn't like it at all, honestly. They had, for one thing, they had like basically no one that worked with Warrior on it. This is kind of the A&E thing, though. I don't know why they have like Bubba the Love Sponge all over the Macho Man one. And then this one's got Sam Roberts and like some guy they just call super fan. And it's like, I don't care what Sam Roberts thought of the Warrior when he was 7. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
What does this matter?
Yeah, some of the selections are a little out of place.
And To me, it really felt like they went into the documentary with this idea: we're going to tell the story that what drove Warrior was he was looking for a father figure and wanted the love of his dad. And they really, to me, it felt like they scripted a documentary with this in mind. And it didn't necessarily ring true to me, and it just felt forced, and I got sick of that theme. As for sure,
Yeah, I don't necessarily think it was forced. I mean,
I do.
I think, like, I know Vince was like, he kicked him out because he didn't believe him that he was upset about his dad passing away. But
I don't
who
blame you.
knows? I mean, because he also probably has it
That he
looming
hated
over
the
his
guy.
head that the people in his family don't last very long. And he was like, well, maybe if my father lasts, and then maybe things would look better for me. I mean, this
I'm
is
on
stuff that was
Vince's.
probably going on in his mind.
Well, that's not even caring about his father. That would just be
But
caring about.
I think he probably did care about his father. Maybe he always did want his love.
Yeah, maybe, but where's the proof of this? It's just to me, it's just
Well,
like
I
this
mean,
thing
what
someone
proof would there
decided.
be other than just
This
the people he
Does
talked
to me,
to?
it's just something someone decided this will make a good story, and let's write this documentary around this theme. But to me, it didn't hold true, and
I
I
mean,
didn't.
but it's not like they're trying to like help his character, because I mean they
No,
did
but that
have
seemed
a
like
lot
the
of
whole theme
bad
of the
topics
thing.
about him in the documentary.
Seemed like that was the theme. That was the doc. Sometimes people don't think of documentaries this way, but documentaries do tell a story, and this was the story they were trying to tell. And to me, it didn't work.
Yeah, it did have a narrative. I see what you're saying, but
I didn't.
they didn't touch on like him going off on the kid on the Event Vice one though. I mean,
No, that was something I'd never seen. There was bits of it I liked, but overall, I'm not gonna say I hate it. I just overall didn't care for it. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen.
yeah, well, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a very
No.
well done documentary. I enjoyed both of them.
I like the Vice one better, but both of them missed. I don't know why, neither, because they even had Bischoff on the Vice one, and neither of them. You can't.
Yeah,
I'm not saying spend the whole show on it, but at least mention he went to WCW.
yeah, he was in WCW shortly. I
Yeah,
mean,
and it is an interesting story. Like, did Hogan bring him in there just so you get the win back?
just to
Like,
get the win.
explain what happened.
Yeah, yeah.
There is when you do thing with Macho Man, when you do them, they're like an hour, I guess. I mean, you got to condense a lot of stuff, you know, if you're going to tell someone's whole story. So it's a little hard to do. The
Well,
Macho Man one I saw after I heard all the stuff about it, so I'm probably biased. I didn't love it because I think there's some stuff in there I don't think is that great, but I didn't find it as offensive as a lot of people.
yeah.
I don't think it was a hit piece. Now, some people, to be fair, some people say compared to the other ones, but I haven't seen the Austin one, so I understand the idea of like, why do we skip
Well,
over negative stuff of Austin, but we say
the
the Macho.
Austin one was pretty tame. I mean,
To me, that would be more like, to me, that's a more negative to the Austin one. Is like, I haven't seen it, so maybe I enjoy it. I don't know, but I would personally rather watch a documentary that is honest about someone's whole deal.
Galgo 13 in the chat room says, I did not believe Jake when he says he was going to beat up
No,
Ultimate
I didn't
Warrior
believe
at the
that.
Hall of Fame. I didn't really believe that story either. I found it. But he did say he apologized to it. I mean, maybe he was
I could see
looking to
that.
kind of say, like, hey, you're kind of an asshole or
Yeah,
something.
I
I
could
don't
see
think he
that.
would
I just more of
beat
to
him
me
up.
when I listened to that, I didn't believe it, but it didn't bother me that much because it felt like a wrestler embellishing a story.
I
Like
can't
Hogan's not made up.
necessarily, I don't know if I
I
believe
don't believe
him.
Warrior and Hogan made up either. I mean, they might have shook hands for the camera, but I don't think like there was a. I don't believe Macho Man and Hogan made up.
No, I never heard about that account, but
I don't believe
uh,
anything Hogan says, but it's kind of like the Jake part. There's a difference when some wrestlers say stuff that I know is not true, but they say it in a way I don't really care. And then there are things like Brother Love says stuff I know is not true, and it's annoying. You know what I mean?
it's the fine line there. You don't know where it will
Yeah.
fall. But yeah, I Yeah, the Mick Foley one, it was pretty much just stuff you probably have already heard about. I mean, they show him being Santa Claus and stuff, and
Yeah.
at the end and stuff. But I mean, there's nothing
I mean, all the
too
stuff in the
too
Macho Man
crazy.
one, it was stuff everyone has heard. I mean,
It's
we
probably
didn't hear
more
the
for people
exact
who aren't
George's George
fans.
stuff before, but I mean, all that stuff we've heard. I mean, it was. I know Lanny went on and said it wasn't true that he locked Elizabeth in closets, but I mean, God, people have been saying this for decades. Not just
Yeah.
one guy. Everyone is ever around him. So if it's not true, then like 90% of the people that's ever been around Macho Man's lying about it.
But like, if he locked her in a closet, was she knocking on the closet or something? And somebody's like, "Hey,
No, I think
Elizabeth's
she's
locked in the closet."
not to be mean, but I think she's was very submissive. So I think she wouldn't have like been trying to force her way out.
No.
I think that's why they connected was he's
It's
intrusive, very overly protective, and she's very submissive.
hmm. Hmm.
But to say he
I
wasn't true, he did. I don't buy that. I mean, he's his brother, so it's like I don't know. Your brother shouldn't be out there trashing you. So I can't blame him for trying to say stuff's not true. That's fine. It's his brother. But I didn't
uh
find it. I didn't find it as. I didn't think it was great by any means, but I didn't find it as like shocking or anything as people made it out to be.
Well, I just had the problem with Gorgeous George saying that he was filming her in her house and stuff. I
After
mean,
seeing it, I don't know. I think it's I don't know. She seemed honest to me, to be honest.
I don't know. I don't think that technology would have been
I
that
think it would have
available back
in the
then.
'90s, and that I mean, it's not like it was like in the caveman
Like
eras.
to get a feed from somebody's house from like several miles away. I mean, unless you're like paying like a
He was
satellite
he
company.
was a millionaire, and
I mean, he did have a lot of money. I will say that, but I don't know. I don't know if I necessarily believe it. I think it
I
was
don't know.
made up.
I have no problem buying it. But,
Mm-hmm.
anyway, it was fine. Where were we? But Bubba the Love Sponge. I don't know why he was on there. I don't know why they really want like a lot of these radio guys on there. I'm not really sure why.
Maybe it's just they would do it. I don't know. They needed people to fill in spots, I guess.
Yeah.
Where's our spot? I mean,
Yeah, was Opie on the McFoley one?
Opie? You
Yeah.
mean Sam Roberts?
No, Opie. Because Sam Roberts has already been on Brother Love Sponge. I was thinking maybe Greg Opie Hughes was
Oh yeah.
on this McFoley one.
Well, they probably had
Anthony
the.
Cumia.
I think Sam's kind of took it up the O and A
I know that, but
section.
I mean, who the hell talks about? No one's like does Bubba the Love Sponge really like anyone talks about anymore?
No, not really. Not really. I heard.
Man Cow. Maybe Man Cow will be on one of these.
I heard some stuff on Howard Stern about how Bubba had COVID for a while, but
Oh, really?
yeah, and he was like trying to get over COVID. So, like, I think that the whole crew had COVID because,
No.
like, I think he came in or somebody came in and exposed everybody to it. So they just continued doing shows, and he had to leave the show early one time because he couldn't do the whole show because he was getting so sick. But Andy pooped himself. He pooped himself before the show. He admitted it one time. Yeah.
You guys love to talk about pooping yourselves.
Well, I thought you would get a particular kick out of that. Look
Yeah,
at you. You know you're laughing on the inside right there.
But I'm just saying, I would think if you pooped yourself, you wouldn't. I mean, but I'm the most honest man in podcasting, so if I ever do, I'll let everyone know, I guess. Well, there's a difference between honest. I mean, you could just not talk about stuff. That doesn't make you dishonest.
So if I ask you directly right now, have you ever pooped yourself?
I mean, not since maybe I was a baby, so I have no memory of pooping myself.
Never.
No.
Never. Are you lying to me? You say you're the most honest man now.
I am. You can do be a lie detector stuff.
I'm gonna.
Are you pooping yourself right now?
No.
What if we had smell-o-vision?
Smell-o-vision. You'd only smell the fresh scents of the OIB. Nice and fresh. After eating some corn dogs.
Sucking on the chili dog. Were you sucking on the chili dog?
No, I never understood. Who sucks on the chili dog?
Like a pervert.
What does that mean? Something
like
else?
You're looking over at somebody. You're like start deep throating.
It's like who sucks on a chili dog? Eat it for Christ's sake.
You could probably put that on your OnlyFans, make some money, ain't you?
Probably.
Sucking on chili dogs.
Here's a new segment. You want to see what's in my goodie bag?
You gonna suck on a chili dog?
No, there's no chili dogs in my goodie
bag. I got a chili dog right here, and sure, you're like, whoa, that's a big, thick chili dog.
We got some Reese's cups.
Okay.
We got some corn nuts. Oh, you'll like this one. It's a Snickers protein bar. Should that have its own place in the goodie bag? We got some Snickers.
Man, you're eating a lot of candy here.
Twix.
What the hell are you doing?
Peanut M&Ms.
Man, you're like the guy in Full Metal Jacket sneaking in all the candy. Gonna come at night and beat you with some soap.
This I think I'm going to do a video on because I have not had this particular flavor of corn nuts. Nacho. This is new, as you can see on the label. And that's about it. Snickers. You're saying I'm like Gomer Pyle? Is that what you're saying? I got stuff stuck.
The hell, you got like old backpack full of canned junk food.
This is my goodie bag. This is whenever I have a snack, I have calories enough to eat a snack. I get in my goodie bag, and I have some. And I just thought I'd show it to the world right now. When we're supposed to be talking about wrestling.
All right, it works. All right, so Cody Rhodes versus Anthony Ogogo. Kudos to Cody for
go to the dentist. I've been to the dentist, Stephen Butler.
Kudos to Ogogo. I mean, to Cody. He got a pass. He got a pass on Match Wrestling. I didn't expect this to be good at all. It wasn't great, but it was decent.
I wasn't too into this one. I thought it was just I thought that guy looked lost.
It was way better than I expected. From his TV matches, I thought it'd be the total shits.
Mm-hmm. I thought I wasn't too impressed with it. I mean, I know you're saying it's just you're not necessarily glowing about it, but I just thought the guy looked lost, and they were saying it was like only his third match or something like that. Like
I could tell.
What's he doing in a ring on a pay-per-view if he's only wrestled 3 times?
This is a guy I would keep him off for because he has lots of charisma and presence. He can talk. I actually think he's got star appeal, but he's a guy I'd keep off until he's ready.
Mm-hmm. I'm not saying he will never be ready, but I wasn't impressed. I had this match did nothing for me. I was not.
Unless you're never going to use him again, because now he's been defeated. You know what I mean? Or maybe now you take him off and let him train for a while, then he comes back eventually. I don't know.
I will say I'm glad.
I was actually impressed by the matches because I thought it would be just the shits.
I will say Cody went back to his original ring music, and I like that. Thank you, because I didn't like the Snoop Dogg version. I thought that was awful.
Snoop Dogg, dog.
It's not like I don't like Snoop Dogg. I just did not like that song. I didn't think it fit him. I mean, it just didn't work.
By the way, Mark Henry thing. I don't want to bring this because everyone knows I'm not a Mark Henry fan. But I'll say this. I heard Big Show on commentary for the first time. I'm you get the guy shot and everything. I'm gonna be honest. Thought he sucked. Thought he was very poor. Um, and then Mark Henry, I'm not a fan. There has been some highlights of his, and they were promos over the last few years when he faked the retirement with Cena. But I'll say this too: the one thing I'll give him over Big Show is if you bring him in, he does host a show on Sirius Satellite, so he has a platform where he could plug he can plug AEW, and you can also have your AEW guys go on his podcast on Sirius Satellite, and that will bring attention. So I do think that's probably he'll add something there. Am I thrilled? No, not at all.
Yeah.
And he's not wrestling as far as I know. Miro, who's becoming, I think, one of the best all-around guys, versus Lance Archer. I thought this was great. The end was a little lackluster, but I like just two big dudes. I like that this show had a real mix of things, because you had a couple, the big dudes, and then you had like some different styles of matches on the show. But yeah, this worked. I was looking forward to this match because I thought it was too early for Miro to lose, and I didn't know if they'd have Lance Archer lose already as a babyface, but they did. Yeah. I think it put over Miro pretty big.
I don't see much going for Lance Archer. I think he's always going to be used as like just a guy who comes out and puts other people over. I mean, he's good for that, I guess, but I don't see much in his personality. I like Miro one, and I thought the ending where Jake came out and he was going to unleash the snake and all that, and Miro picked it up and he was just throwing it around like,
and then he just heaved it.
Yeah,
I legit cracked up and was laughing out loud.
I mean, everybody knows there wasn't like a snake.
Oh, I know, but it don't matter. It was very funny.
Yeah,
but you could hear the gasp from the crowd because
they kind of thought like, oh no, he's throwing a snake across the.
That's pretty awesome. That was sweet. Britt Baker winning the title from Shida, definitely a right move, I think. No, I actually like Shida, but Britt Baker, I think, is an all-around best woman in AEW.
Shida did not look happy when she was coming to the ring. She looked visibly upset. Yeah, I pretty much knew she was going to drop the title because
I mean, I assume I don't really think that's always a bad thing. I mean, you're saying for a different reason, but going in, I was pretty sure Britt Baker was going to win, which to me, knowing that isn't always a bad thing because it's a good story to tell. This is the right time to put the title on her.
Yeah, I think it is right to put the title on Britt, but I did feel bad for Shida because
she had the belt over here.
I know, but she had it during COVID times, and like you're just getting fans back, and now she's got to drop the belt. And it's like
the crowd was. This is the thing though. People disagree with me in the chat during the live when we were doing the live chat. You got to turn Britt Baker babyface. The crowd wants to cheer her. They are cheering her. I'm always against the idea of fighting the crowd. If the crowd wants to cheer for a heel, just turn the babyface. If they want to boo a babyface, just turn him heel. The crowd clearly wants to get behind her. Just make her babyface. Run with it. She could be the top woman in the company.
Vic Schiavone, he says Britt Baker winning the belt was his favorite part of the pay-per-view.
Yeah, I really liked it. And it was a really nice moment. Tony Schiavone going, Vic's, Uncle Tony coming over and hugging her after she won.
I like that JR was like, I think he's a little smitten with Britt Baker.
Yeah, that worked. It was fun. JR in the pre-show sounded really sick. I think he either allergies or something. He didn't sound too good.
He was a little off throughout the whole night.
Yeah, I think he was sick.
Yeah,
I thought Tony looked really good. Did a good job. To me, maybe not the best match, but the next match was the most fun match on the show, and one of the most fun matches I've seen in years. I just had so much fun watching this. Darby Allin and Sting versus Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. This was fun. It was
a good
and a well-deserved "You Still Got a Chance."
Yeah, it was a good match. I enjoyed it. Freaking Ethan Page just tossing uh
Yeah, the
yeah,
Spike Dudley spot.
It's basically, yeah, that's what I was going to say, the Spike Dudley spot. He threw Darby right into the
I
crowd
did not expect that.
Mhm.
I'll be honest, I don't really know anything about this guy. And even going to this, I'm like, I don't really not into it. But he won me over some in this match. I like this.
I like Ethan Page, and I'm glad that he's in AEW. So yeah, I think he's gonna be a good talent for him. It was kind of funny seeing Scorpion Sky in the ring with Sting, because you could tell like he was a pretty big fan of Sting, and just you just kind of felt like he was happy to be in there with him, you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
they
he was doing like he did a dive off the stage and he's like
Mhm.
62.
Oh yeah,
Holy
yeah,
shit.
that
That was
was
something I
crazy.
couldn't believe to go back was Macho Man. They was 58 when he died. He looked so old when he looked way
Mhm.
older than Sting does now.
Probably because he dyes his hair. I think it helps people stay look a little younger, I think. And that he
Depends on the
has
guy. Like I think Nash looks good with gray, and I always thought Bischoff looks good. But yeah, but
Mhm.
Macho looked really old when he let it go gray.
Yeah, he did.
I saw a lot of people in our chat had a big problem with Sting's hair. It doesn't really bother me. People are saying he should shave it, but I don't think he'd look right shaved.
Mm.
That stuff usually doesn't bother me anyway, but I don't know. I mean, it's thinner
Yeah,
than when he was in like 20 something years ago in the 90s, but
I mean,
it doesn't really make any difference to me.
people age. He's an older dude, so
Yeah.
what can you do?
I don't even think it looks bad anyway, to be perfectly honest.
Mhm.
But yeah, this was just fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, Darby Allin took a lot of punishment. Sting was doing way more than I expected. I didn't expect him to have like an actual match and doing stuff.
I liked the finisher where Scorpion Sky was like kind of diving in there. I think he was trying to give him a DDT or something,
Yeah,
and then but Sting kind of reversed it
the
into the
Scorpion Death
Scorpion
Drop.
drop,
Yeah.
and I thought that was pretty cool.
And I know people have said that Sting's never loved wrestling, but I don't think you'd go out there and do this if you didn't love it to some degree.
No, I mean, because he is an older dude, I don't think he would be doing matches, especially after that one he had with Seth Rollins where he got hurt so bad. I
Yeah.
mean,
He might not love the business as like dealing with I think he loves being out there in front of the people.
I think he just
If you didn't, you wouldn't
he's
do
not
this
like
because it needs to
100%
be.
about it. Like I think like he's not like, oh, I want to go to all these shows and do all that. But I do think he enjoys it on some level. I mean,
I don't think he would do this if he didn't.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Kenny Omega versus Orange Cassidy and Pac. Honestly, I've always been Orange Cassidy fan, as people know. With the crowd, I've thought this for a while. I think you could eventually do a title run with Orange Cassidy after seeing him in front of the crowd. I think 100% you could do this. Needs proper build up for him going for single for the title, and I think he would have a big run with the title. I think you have a superstar with Orange Cassidy. He's a guy. There's different guys here. Adam Page was better at the cage. A lot of the guys, but Orange Cassidy especially is a guy with the crowd. Moxley, another guy, but Orange Cassidy with the crowd really adds so much to him
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of the appeal is the crowd reaction.
I thought this was the best match of the night for me. I love the part where Orange Cassidy, after Kenny Omega took all the belts and hit Pac in the head with it,
Which
and
is
then
very fun spot. I like this
uh,
spot.
and then Orange Cassidy came in and gave him the big the orange punch, and then you heard Don Callis yell from the announce booth like,
Yeah,
"Oh shit!" and he just gets up and runs over to
yeah,
the. That was a very very well executed bit that they had
yeah.
going on there, and I really enjoyed it. I,
I agree.
I thought that that stuff alone really made the match, and it was very physical. And
There were the near falls in this match with Orange
mhm.
Cassidy. The crowd was insane, and this is like in 4 hours plus into the show at this point,
Yeah,
and huge and like mega heat for Kenny Omega and Don Callis when they're cheating. and screwing Orange Cassidy all the time. Nothing against Pac, I really like him, but if Orange Cassidy Omega here, you build this up on TV, you're gonna have like this guy that the crowd is really into versus these guys with so much heat. This is what you want in wrestling. The guys that the crowd is really, hating. You don't see like heat like this too much, in modern wrestling. And then the guy they actually want to see win. I think you have a big match down the road here. Orange Cassidy versus Kenny Omega.
Yeah, for sure. I'm looking forward to seeing some more stuff. So,
and Pac did a great job too. So I don't want to say he's the odd man out, but to me the money feud is a single feud eventually.
I think so. Yeah.
So great. And then I thought this match was just fun. Inner Circle versus Pinnacle. Just a crazy. One of the better, cinematic matches. It's a little weird to have a cinematic match when you have you have an actual crowd there now.
Yeah,
but I can't help it. It's just I'm watching it and it's put a smile on my face. It's very fun.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it and for what it was, but I'm not going to say like this was the main match for the show. I just don't think.
I think it's weird not to end to have that in the middle. It would just seem strange, especially with the idea of if Pinnacle win, it's the end of end of the Inner Circle. So I think you kind of have to put it at the end, but it's fun. And I like that it's different because you already had all these great wrestling matches. Now you have this weird spectacle.
Yeah, yeah.
To me, wrestling's the best when you have different things on the show. I like that they cut it up into segments too. I thought it worked.
Yeah,
Everyone had their own little thing to shine.
Then they brought Sammy and Sean Spears into the ring at the end, and they kind of had.
I like this because. Go on, sorry.
They also had Jericho and MJF brawling up in the top of the.
That's pretty sweet when he teased throwing Jericho off the balcony. There was a lot of just fun stuff. Him hitting the Khan's dad, Standy. That was pretty funny. Some of the bumps and stuff was crazy.
Yeah.
At the golf cart again. The two big guys, Hager and Wardlow. I'm not like a huge Hager fan, but they work well together. I think it's just fun kind of seeing the two big dudes.
I thought whenever they brought the motorcycle crew out, I was like, who?
Like, I didn't understand that. I'll be honest.
I was like, well, who are these guys? Like,
it was funny that he just ran away from the motorcycle guys, but I didn't get like who they were.
Yeah, and I just didn't like that spot very well. But the techno scene or the bar scene, I thought they could have done without that.
I like
that they worked Conan.
It was very goofy, and I love the Conan cameo.
But there's three guys just standing around drinking, like when they're.
But the idea that there's a tech, it made me laugh that Tony Schiavone just calls it the discotheque, and it's like, what are we in the 1970s? The discotheque, and I like that the idea. I'll be honest, that would be a guilty pleasure of mine was that segment because I know it's stupid, but it just made me laugh that there is this disco in the middle of this giant arena while their show's going on. Like there happens to be like a disco where people just go and drink.
They're just standing there with like scarves around their necks and their sleeves are cut off and they got jeans on, and it's like.
I love Tully wearing that though. And then Tony had a great line. He's like, he just walked out of like War Games 1986.
Yeah, it looked like it.
That was pretty fun. I was happy Tully was there. I get a kick out of seeing Tully. I get a kick out of seeing the old wrestlers as managers. It makes me laugh. That's why I was not a fan of on Dynamite of the what is this guy for Sterling? Mark Sterling is the manager for
yeah, he's giving everybody cards for
and he's he's the new manager for
Tasha O'Neil or what's
Cargill, Jane Cargill.
Where did I get that name from? I was trying to think of it, but
we're all supposed to like know. I mean, I know he's on the show a little bit, but like it's not a big deal. It's not like it's Paul Heyman or something. It's just like this kind of dorky guy. I don't know. I don't know. I'd rather see an old wrestler in this spot. Bring in Ted DiBiase or something. I don't know.
Well, he's doing a thing with
but somebody, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, somebody older. Virgil, he's probably not doing nothing.
He was funny when they brought him in for some stuff with Jericho. But what I want to say though, I liked at the end that Sammy was the guy that goes over. To me, this was kind of like the passing of the torch to Sammy as the leader of the group. Where Jericho's still going to lead it, but I think it's kind of showing that going forward, because Jericho has a limited, shelf life. He doesn't have much. He doesn't have a ton of time left. I think they're going more with Sammy as like.
I think he's wanting to tour.
Plus, he's just an older guy.
Yeah, I bet he's wanting to go out on some tours.
I like Sammy, so that really works.
Yeah. So yeah, he got the win for the team, and
that's a guy that really got elevated, being paired up with a veteran. I think
for sure.
If you would have never put his Sami Zayn with them, he'd probably be a guy in the shit card to be fine and stuff. But being paired with Jericho gave him a lot of credibility, and he ran with it too.
Yeah.
So just to me, just a very fun show.
Definitely.
Good stuff. Well worth.
I enjoyed myself.
It makes me look forward to the next one, which, by the way, I will be at.
Oh yeah,
I will be at in Chicago.
In
September. So the plan is I'm gonna go with Chi-Town Matt to Milwaukee in the end of August to AEW. Then I'll be at the pay-per-view in Chicago. Then I fly home and I go to the AEW Dynamite in Boston.
You're just like, you're going to be a super fan.
I know. I'm going to that so I can get on these documentaries. I just put up, super fan.
So just being involved with this show for how many years now?
16.
16. It does nothing for you, but just going to all the shows, it'll get you on a documentary.
Well, maybe it'll say Jackie Jones, podcast host, and super fan.
It'd probably be super fan first, and then the others.
What if it said super fan and friend of 1 inch biceps?
No, and everybody goes, who? Who is that? Oh,
Yeah. All right. Should we take calls now? Is there anything else to talk about before we take the calls?
I don't really have anything that's I can think of. So yeah, we can.
All right.
Some of the calls on.
You callers want to call in and talk the wrestling. iWatchWrestling.com/Zoom. Who's zooming who? Remember that? That used to be a podcast. Who's slamming who? Whatever happened to that guy?
No. Who was it? Who was on that one? I forget. I can't even remember.
I don't remember either. I remember I don't think
I know the name though.
Yeah. Well, somebody like Stone Cold or something was on there. Not Stone Cold. Cornette, I think. But I can't remember like the main host. He was some guy that was around for a while.
Yeah. Beats me.
Yeah.
Steven? Are you worried about my teeth? That I'm eating too many sweets?
Oh, it's all the candy you were showing.
I know. Look at he's a sugar fiend over here.
Look at
those are my treats.
Look at that.
What do you brush them every night and day, and then after dinner, and then
yeah, twice a day.
It looked like the Ultimate Warrior's teeth. I thought he had fake teeth, but then I looked and he always had those crazy white teeth. The Ultimate Warrior.
Well, he never ate sweets. So you said like you would just sniff cakes or something to make himself angry.
Yeah. That's what Steven does. Just inhales them.
Yeah, that's just like, and he did all that and he still dies at 50. It's like he didn't partake in any sweets whatsoever and he still dies like that at that age. So it's like, why not? Just why avoid it if you're going to die? I mean, I know he didn't know he was going to die, but it just seems like, what was all that for? Very strange, very strange. Vic, it's good to see you. Always good to see Vic.
Got my sugar supply right here tonight. So
he knows.
To be chugging them down.
Mm-hmm. Except I always plan whenever I have one of my snacks. I never just I just want to just start eating mine because I always log everything now. So
does that take the
it's a
fun
sad
out of
life.
it? Or do you your eyes light up like, I got 300 calories today left, and you're like,
yeah, pretty much. I just use them all on that. and it's like it makes it better though, because you can't have it all the time, you know. It makes it better. Song man.
What is up?
It's like
Hey,
you
buddy.
can't have my weenie all the time. So when you get it, you're all
come on.
excited.
Jeez. There's no stopping this guy. It's like he's always got to make something dirty.
These corn dogs you were talking about earlier.
Don't sully my corn dogs. I'm eating corn dogs, okay?
What if I covered my weenie in
just shut up. Just shut up.
I mean cocktail weenies. And
deep fry your weenie? Is that what you're gonna do? You're gonna deep fry it? That's what
well, it's like fried ice cream. If you do it right, this doesn't hurt the ice cream stick. So if you did it right, you might be able to not burn your ding dong.
Like, who had that idea? Like, let's deep fry ice cream.
I don't know. It is good though. I haven't had it in years, but it's good. This guy over here, the song man, during the wrestling, he ate like a tub of ice cream and a whole pizza and a sub and 2 big gallons of booze and root beer and he just he loses like 80 pounds.
All this weight.
Well, you gotta start
5,000 calorie meal.
Yeah, that's probably over that. It's probably, I don't know. He's probably up to 8,000, somewhere like that. Pizza is like
that has to be
4 slices of pizza is 1,400 calories, so it's like it adds up quick.
Not worth it.
Oh God, it's good though. Yeah,
totally worth it.
I had pizza today.
Where did you get yours from?
BBC, and that means British Beer Company interested. I saw your eyes go.
No, you're the one who's always eating down there, so that makes your mouth water.
BBC, good stuff. All right, so what's going on? I actually went to just get a slice, but the Moto's was closed because I was kind of late coming home. So I went and got a whole pizza at BBC, and then it was buy one, get one free day. So then I felt like an idiot buying one. So I got 2 pizzas and I was like, what the hell? I can't. But anyway, me and my mom had pizza. And there's still like a whole pizza up there.
I went down last Wednesday to Hardee's and I was going to get the new chicken sandwich, but they had and I drove all the way down to the West End and they had a sign up that they closed at 5 p.m. It's like 5 p.m. to close a fast food place? I mean, what the hell? It was only 6. And I was going to film a video, like me trying out the new Hardee's chicken sandwich and all that, but I didn't get it. So,
hey, what the fuck?
Gonna have to do another one. I was eating the Sheetz gas station tacos, and everybody seemed to like that video, and I like it because I get to eat bad things. Yeah.
Well, you're like a little child now, always wanting to cheat.
Yes. Yes. Pretty much.
All
I live for it. That's like what my whole day revolves around.
All right. So who's got wrestling on the mind? Who wants to talk the wrestling? Stevie's getting all excited over here. Stevie!
Well, good evening, everybody, because I am the tribal chief of In Your Head Wrestling Radio, and I am the head of the table.
Head of the table.
In your head of the table.
Just
in your head of the table.
Just tell Jack to acknowledge you.
You will acknowledge me, yes. I wasn't about to spend.
It's like Insure. I mean, I'm just trying to tie it into the, how the Usos were talking.
Oh yeah, I take no offense to be called a bitch.
That's good. That's good to know. I'll keep that in the memory.
Yes.
What were you saying, Stevie?
I wasn't about to spend like over $50 to the WWE for a brand new shirt, so I picked this up off of eBay for about half the price.
Oh my goodness, really?
Yes, yeah.
I've never. So are the shirts priced reasonably on eBay? Like,
Well,
if
it's
you,
whatever people are selling them for.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Sometimes
does
it's
it drop
expensive,
off
but
like considerably from the retail
it
price?
depends, because some old shirts actually go for a lot more.
Yeah.
I was thinking about selling some of my old shirts, because I've got a ton of 3X and 4X shirts, and I was looking them up, and some of them go for quite a bit of money, especially like some old horror movie shirts that aren't in production anymore. Man, Lexar's looking hard over here, like he's in like a prison gang or something. He's right out of Blood In, Blood Out, down by Honor. Stevie! So head of the table, what's going on the wrestling? Yeehaw! Wrestling!
So I really enjoyed actually AEW not Double or Nothing from the start to finish.
Yeah, I love
every match was good. Really, a lot of really great
I had
things
so
to
much
enjoy.
fun.
And like the highlight for me probably was Britt Baker. I mean, the right idea, putting her as the champion. Then she can come out every week with the belt and cut promos, and now I hope that they start to elevate some of the some of the feuds for the women. I want to see her I want to see stop seeing Allie accompany people to the ring. Let's see her wrestle. Let's see her feud. Let's see her take on Britt Baker.
Oh, you mean Rebel?
No, the bunny.
Oh, the bunny. Oh, okay.
Allie, whatever name you want to give her. She and Britt Baker, like, elevate that women's division. Have her feud.
I think they are now. I think they have been, and I think that's a good person to build it around.
Yep. Yeah.
I think eventually bring in Tessa Blanchard. I think that would be a money feud. Tessa Blanchard and Britt Baker. Britt Baker's a babyface. Tessa's a heel. Intra's girl.
Although I do think she left Impact pretty poorly. I mean, they gave her the freaking world championship, and she just walks out with it.
Yeah, but look what AEW thinks Impact. So they don't care.
Well, yeah, I mean, I know a lot of companies probably don't think much of Impact.
I agree with you, though. That's not a good show character.
But
regardless of the company.
I mean, because she got the highest prize in the business. I mean, and she's just like, yeah, screw it.
Got my Jake the Snake shirt on, by the way.
Jake the Snake Roberts.
You know that guy, don't you?
I know him. Yeah, he's been on the show a few times. Good dude.
He is. Yeah. Stevie, what else was lighting your world on fire?
But the biggest pop for me probably was Jack Perry winning the Casino Battle Royal. Now that one really put a big smile on my face seeing him get that one, because when I had that feeling too when Christian was in the ring, and I thought, well, they're gonna give it to Christian.
Yeah,
but
it did seem like the obvious choice, so it was a surprise that he didn't get it.
So hopefully, hopefully this is bigger and better things for Jungle Boy. I don't expect him to beat Kenny Omega, obviously, but I do hope that facing Kenny Omega, and it is on television. I think they didn't say it was a pay-per-view. It's going to be on
like a televised match. Yeah, maybe it will be just Dynamite. So
yeah, but
that'll be good. It'll make for a good Dynamite match, I think.
Yeah, hopefully it's a main event. I mean, the world title again. Like, I'll get to this. The world title should be the main event of the show, but hopefully it'll continue to elevate Jungle Boy. I mean, like, there's a guy who should be on his own eventually. One day it should be him.
As a singles guy, when you say that, I'm fine with him. I do think he should be a singles guy, but I don't think you need to split up the group. Just like I don't think you needed to split up New Day to keep Big E as a singles guy. Yeah. Especially in AEW, because factions are a big deal. He could keep the group and just be the single star of the group. The other
it's like one of the things that sets AEW away from WWE is that they actually let factions be factions.
Yeah, I know some people have a problem with all the factions. I actually like it. I like that they have different groups.
Unless you're in QT Marshals. That one kind of sucks.
I actually kind of like it.
I think it sucks.
I like the big caveman dude.
I like his look. I'll give him credit for that, but I think I'm just not feeling the group at all.
I like QT Marshall as the manager. He's actually a good wrestler though too. He had a good match with Cody.
I don't know. I'm just not sold on QT for some reason.
I like him. I think he makes a better heel too. QT Marshall.
I might like him if he just walked into Lexar's room and ripped that CBS Sports sign down.
Oh, look at this!
I think I'd like
believe
that.
This Lexar. Where's all this hate coming from for the CBS Sports sign?
Yeah. It will probably be worse if I have an HBO sports banner hanging up there.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
HBO. There's the kitty.
I saw this Mike Tyson documentary on ABC one time, and they documentary his life entirely, and they show clips of his fights, and in the background has the HBO Sports banner hanging up above. And I was like, what if that banner was hanging in my room instead of this one? HBO Sports.
I don't see what the correlation is. Like, why we should care about HBO Sports in your room? I mean, can't you have both? Can you have two banners? I mean,
well, it's this banner is big. When I first got it, I thought it's huge, and I didn't think it was.
What are you like 5 miles away from it or something?
I don't know. It's behind my wall.
Well, I mean, don't look that big.
Come on.
Get out like stand up right next to it.
Yeah, lay on it.
Like walk on your wall.
Well, I guess it is a little bigger now.
What does it look like? Spider-Man?
I have faith in it. You can do it.
Please. I don't have the athletic ability of the Young Bucks. Maybe the Young Bucks could like walk on walls.
Wow, we've got a plethora of pictures to show Lexar.
Oh man! I mean, last week they showed Songman, so
isn't this going to get our like whole group banned eventually? I mean, we're getting a lot of strikes.
It's just doing the big wiggle.
Yeah,
doing the big wiggle.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Why is his head on my crotch?
I think the picture's supposed to be that you're like doing the big wiggle on me.
Yeah.
What the heck was that?
And Jack's got you in the Steiner recliner, and I'm the ref.
Man, you're selling that well, Lexar. You're a good seller. Looking good. Got a big mouth. Oh, whoa!
Oh, gee.
So you're a bad boy.
Bat boy found in cave. That's a good look, Lexar.
Oh.
Boom!
I'm choke slamming you there. Where'd I get that mullet? I'm rocking a sweet mullet in
That's a good look, intro. I think you could grow that. You should do that.
That's like the Paul Heyman do, ain't it?
Yeah, the skullet. All right. That's good. See, none of those were bad.
Well, the first one was kind of bad. I mean,
no, it's just the big wiggle.
Show the picture of last week with Songman. I should hear like sit. Like that.
Oh no,
I
I'll
don't remember it
on that.
What was it? I don't remember it.
I think Songman was in the dominatrix outfit or something.
No.
And then just like behind him.
I don't remember.
Oh
that
no,
one.
that one.
This one, Encore Performance.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Goodness.
You have a song for that one, Lexar?
Oh, that's the one. I swear it wasn't me for a moment. It's not because I look more like an ape with the weight, because I look ready. I'm about to get ready to masturbate.
I mean, I know I'm a little handsy on that photo, but doesn't his eyes look like they're saying yes? I mean,
No, looks like he's kind of scared.
what?
Yeah.
That means yes.
That's what good interest going. You like it when they look like that. When they have a little fear in their eye. All right. Will Broad Martin wants to know, where did Lexar steal that sign?
What sign?
The CBS
This one?
Sports. Yeah.
I bought it on eBay
Man.
for about $150 last year.
Man.
$150.
Hmm?
Cool.
150. There's more like memorabilia I want to buy there, but they're very, very expensive. Like I want to buy a UFC, like a piece of UFC canvas. That cost like over $2,000.
Oh, damn.
Like, do you want it to be bloody, or you just want it to be a
It has
UFC
some blood
canvas?
spatter on it, but I want it. I want to put it on my room.
Man, the interest dark.
Well, I mean, I figured like, I don't know, like most of the time people want like something on it, but I
You
don't.
want my bodily fluids, Incher?
No. How did it get into this question? The answer is no.
You just said a lot of people want blood. So I was just wondering if you wanted my bodily fluids. That seems like a
Blood and guts,
fan.
like FTW, baby. What was that company? FCW. What was it? The one that Mick Foley was wrestling for.
Oh, I forget.
Yeah,
So anything else there, Steven, before Incher cut you off?
Just that.
Here's one for $60. That one's $60, Lexar. If it would come in there.
So now you know how it looks like, how big of a.
It's 92 inches by 46. This one's $60. I'm going to buy one just like it. I'm going to be you.
8x4.
What would you do if he bought one too and put it up behind him? He's trying to steal your thunder, Lexar.
And I wore a white t-shirt. And
he moved to Honduras.
Start talking about always going to the strip clubs. Steal your whole gimmick.
Started rubbing his penis on women's buttocks. Basically, you know what he's saying though, Lexar? He's saying he's a huge mark for you. He wants the play as Lexar.
It's the sincerest form of flattery.
He gave me my nickname after all, so.
I thought Barb did.
No, God damn it. It's right there. That is where I got Lexar's name, right there. I should give that to Lexar.
Have you ever thought of legally changing your name to Lexar?
I'm thinking about it.
It's got a nice ring to it. Does your mom ever call you Lexar?
No, my mom never called me Lexar, but I did tell her, just call me Lexar. And I said, what? Lexar? I was like, I'm not going to call you Lexar. I do like, at times I'm thinking about really changing my name to Lexar, just like Warrior changed his name from Jim Howard.
Then Incher can't steal the name if he tries to.
I wouldn't ever try to steal it. But if I did want to assimilate just being Lexar, I would just say that.
Yeah, see, you better get on that, Lexar, because he's trying to take over your life. He's trying to steal your identity.
Man, he gave me my nickname, so
Steven changed his name to Steven when he started calling into the show. Before that, he was Herbert. And then we're just calling him Steven. And he's like, I guess I'll just change it to Steven.
So it's Herbert Butler, right?
Yeah, Herbert.
Herbert Butler.
Will Broad wants to know what's Jackie Jones drinking. Coffee. Black coffee.
Is it the poop coffee? You didn't go and do that, did you?
No, I haven't drank it. I have been making not tonight, but Greek coffee. I bought a Briki to make Greek coffee. Now, a Briki is a small, it only holds about a cup. It's like a little stainless steel pot. You can get copper ones too with a little handle. And this is the ancient way of making coffee in here. It's like thousands of years old. Yeah. You just put it on direct heat. You put some water in it and coffee, stir it up. You can put sugar. I don't drink sugar. And you got it. And it's an art form. Chef George, who owns Captain Scott's near me. He's like, this is an art form. You can't just turn it on and let it go. So you turn a medium heat. And once you can't let it boil. Once it starts you could tell when it's about to. So you got to sit there and watch this. Once it starts to, you know how water right before boil starts to move up and down, you got to lift it off the heat. And then it settles. And you got to keep doing this so it rises and then it goes down. And as it does this, it creates a foam mixture. And you got to caress the coffee. It's kind of sexy. You got to caress it and give it love. And you gotta get it to the edge. You don't want it to just boom. And so you gotta keep and bring it back. So you got a steady hand. You gotta watch it, kind of rotate it because you got get a little boil on this side and this side, so it's all around and it keeps rising and going down.
Could you tell us the story about the gummy worms right now? I mean,
then you get it perfect. You pour it in the cup. And it's layered. It's got the coffee grounds at the bottom because they stay in it. Then you got the nice rich coffee, and it doesn't have any bitterness because it's a boil. Well, not a boil, but it's a cooked coffee. And then you got the foam on the top if you do it right, and you just sip at it. It's delicious. It's delicious, Incher. But this is French pressed coffee here.
Yeah, coffee. Drink the poop coffee.
I don't know if you can notice this or not, but so I make turmeric golden tea sometimes, and so one night, I had coffee and then the turmeric tea. I drank the tea, and so I went to bed on my stand. I just put this in the coffee cup, and then I'd take it out in the morning. So I put it in the coffee cup. It has some of the golden tea at the bottom. When I took it out, it totally stained this whole bottom gold. And it will not wash off. But it looks kind of cool, actually. Mm-hmm. But my golden tea I make totally. So is my whole body now stained in the inside gold? I don't know. I'm drinking stuff that stains metal into gold. So I'm like an alchemist.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Maybe your skin will turn into gold.
Did he just say he's drinking a golden shower? Is that what he just said? What?
Man, that got Incher excited. No, he Incher's more into a Roman shower, man.
No.
You know what that is, Lexar? The Roman shower? Poop.
That's nasty, isn't it, Lexar?
That's what he's into, Lexar.
That's not. No.
Incher's a nasty man.
Nah, exactly.
Hang up.
It used to be the Roman shower, but he's trying to rename it the WV shower.
Trying to patent his own state.
Exactly. He's been trying to patent the WV.
Just like myself, I'm trying to patent my own nickname.
Exactly.
The Incher game.
Exactly. Mm-hmm, it all goes back to Incher.
That's right.
Yeah. So how about wrestling this week? What'd you think of it? Anything stand out to anybody wrestling?
Well, I did watch the Impact, and I'm struggling to remember things that happened on it. I know that Violence by Design, which is Eric Young's group, they are the current tag team championship holders. They beat Finn Juice before they returned to Japan, so they cannot reenact their rematch clause. So
Finn Juice. A bad name.
is no longer the champions. You got the big cowboy dude and I think Rhino are the champions. They're in Violence by Design. So, and Morrissey, I forget what the initial is before his name, like P Morrissey or M Morrissey, E Morrissey.
Like EP?
I don't know, but big Cass basically. He cut a promo on the fans talking about how they just filmed him whenever he had a seizure. And I've actually seen that video where he's just laying on the ground having a seizure. And so it is true. They did do that. So did you ever see that video, Jack?
No.
Nobody posted it on the group or anything where he's just
Not
laying
that I
on the
know
ground
of.
having a seizure.
Man, that sounds bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. They're just sitting there filming him and like, is anybody calling the ambulance, or what?
Yeah.
Somebody help the poor guy. But I guess really not much you can do for a seizure other than just make sure they don't like swallow
their tongue. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it is bad that somebody filmed it and put it up on the internet, though. Did you do that, Lexar? I know you go to a lot of shows. No? Okay.
Wilbert wants to know, what channel does Impact air?
I believe it is on
Access TV.
Access TV. Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Trip. Oh, Trip's here. How you doing, buddy?
Good. My
Good,
camera's
good.
not working on this computer, so
Oh, okay.
just audio.
I hear you. Yeah, Access TV. I always have trouble remembering that, so I appreciate that. But yeah, Impact. It's fun to watch. I think a thing that I would like to see is to see Ace Austin take on Kenny Omega at some point. Maybe not right now because I know he's feuding with Moose, Kenny Omega and Moose. But and Moose did say, "Where will I go next in the wrestling business after my contract has expired?" And he spelled next NXT. So he's teasing that he might be going to NXT. But I thought WWE put the big kibosh on him coming into the company.
Yeah, because he threw his old lady down the steps.
Yeah.
It's not a good thing to do.
No. So I don't know if that's true or not that they'll actually bring him into the company, but he may just stick with Impact. You never know.
Wilbert wants to know, does it New Japan play on that channel as well?
I think they do, yeah.
I think it's on there, yeah. It was. I don't know if it's on there now. But
Maybe
it was on there.
Maybe that's how they got the working relationship with New Japan, because they're on the same channel. But Tripp's saying that they might not be on there anymore. I'm really not sure. Does Troy
I don't
watch
get
it
the
on
channel.
there?
I don't get the channel.
Yeah, I don't know what channel Troy watches. I know my mom's actually watched some New Japan, so.
Mm-hmm.
I watch Impact on the Impact Plus app. That's the only way I can get it.
That's how I've been watching it. I watched it last week on the Impact Plus app. So,
would you get an Impact sign, Lexar? A big Impact poster on the wall?
I'll get one of the ring aprons if I could find one.
An 8-sided one?
So I think it's 6 sides.
yeah,
But yeah, I'll put
yeah.
a 6-sided ring apron.
I want an
Right
8-sided.
below the CBS Sports banner. See,
You want
I
a
think-
special made for you?
I think the more sides a ring has, the better it is.
That's
Yes.
confusing though. AJ Styles said that he doesn't like to wrestle on 6-sided rings. 8-sided
Blasphemy.
ring, 6-sided ring.
Blasphemy. He is the Mr. Impact. He should love wrestling in a hexagon.
Mhm. He
doesn't.
said taking bumps in a 6-sided ring is like a nightmare. But like once they turn into a 4-sided ring, and they Kurt Angle slammed him, he said it's like heaven on earth. Getting slammed on a 4-sided ring, and not in a 6-sided ring.
I don't know if one would be better than the other, but maybe there's a little bit more give in the 4-sided one, since it's like not such as sturdy as a structure. Maybe like there's probably a little more give, but I'm sure it's pretty sturdy. But not a. more points where the pressure is being held in the structure. It's basically what I'm saying in the 6-sided one. Jack, are you going to watch the Impact?
No.
You know you want to.
But do they have? If they have crowds, maybe I'll give it a shot again because they're no crowd really. It's just like a death show.
Yeah, they still don't have the crowd going on, which is unfortunate. So
I wonder when them and Ring of Honor and all them are going to start having crowds again because nobody other than AEW has a crowd. I know WWE's fixing to go back in July to crowds.
Yeah,
I assume Impact and Ring of Honor and all them will start doing it again. I watch MLW too, Major League Wrestling, and they're doing reruns now. They're not even taping new episodes right now.
Oh, really?
But I get the feeling probably July is when they're all going to go back to crowds.
Hopefully, and like when I'm watching the Impact show, it is very noticeable that they're missing their crowd. And
Vince Rudo says
just a few people
hasn't aired on Axis for like 2 years.
Who's that? New Japan? Oh, okay.
It was kind of strange because I started watching full time for AEW last year when this whole pandemic started, and I gotta say this was the first pay-per-view I even ordered for AEW, and this was a start to finish, like Steven said. Like I wasn't expecting this much of a build for so much. Like Britt Baker definitely was the biggest moment for me in the main event, of course, and I had no idea, by the way. My photo shot I took with the inner circle would have been going around the whole internet when Jericho took it, when it went everywhere last night in the last 48 hours.
Oh, you had like a photo with who?
No, I took it off my screen. That's been going everywhere when Jericho took it, and then it's going everywhere in the last 48 hours.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
You mean that photo that Jack put up a couple of moments ago?
No, not that photo.
That may have been the one, probably. Not
that
that one. No, not that one.
Yeah, I think that was from New England Fan Fest up in the hotel with insurance.
No.
I remember that night. Me and Vic, we went out. We went and got some dinner and insurance Songman had some some alone time.
I've never met Songman in person.
I don't. We just saw evidence.
You had Vic, you had Jackie at these fan fests, but Inches, then one never invited.
Oh, he's invited. He just won't. He just don't want to be seen.
Never invite me, Songman.
How many times has Impact had the guest over? Would that be the only time to force you to come over? Because I gotta get to see the Impact.
See,
Impact. Yeah, if there was an Impact fan fest, then should be right there.
I always invite Jack to my Impact fan parties, but he never shows up. I'm like, we're having an Impact party tonight, Jack.
If you pay my way, I'll go there.
He's like, you got to pay my way, and then maybe I'd go. But until then, screw you.
Now, Intra's the one that's always holding out for the money. Like, hey, you want to come and have dinner, have like a good steak dinner with us, and do all this stuff? Only if you PayPal me.
I've never said PayPal me for a steak dinner. Who am I, Abby? Abdullah the Butcher? Like, what the hell?
Have you ever thought of being like the new Abby?
No.
Like OIB the Butcher?
No.
OI Butcher?
No.
That'd be a cool gimmick. Just start hacking people up at FanFest.
Nah. I don't want to do that. I'm nice to everybody.
Vince Rudo wants to know, would you buy a Shotgun Saturday Night ring apron?
Yeah.
If I could find one. And if it's
maybe he knows where there's
I can
one
afford it.
How much you got on you?
A big old goose egg.
Well,
wait till that stimulus package comes in.
I don't qualify for the stimulus.
You don't?
You don't pay for it.
Well, that's no good.
None of my family members do.
You can stimulate this package.
Oh, please.
Come on, that was money. Tyler S says bury the hatchet. I don't know who he means though. Who should
Bury the hatchet?
Who?
Molly Hatchet?
Where do you think that term came from, to bury a hatchet?
I don't know. Like, how did they take hatchet? Like, it basically means that's like the grudge. And it's like, how did they switch it into that? I guess because you have a hatchet in your hand because you're wanting to chop the guy up. You want to kill him.
Hot damn.
Because you have this grudge against him.
Oh, here's an actual. They have one for sale, Lexar. It's a WWF Attitude Era ring apron. Ring used from Shotgun Saturday Night. It's on highspots.com for only $2,499.99.
Maybe I should create a PayPal.
$2,000.
Maybe I should create a PayPal and let the Headyverse members help me pay for that ring apron. And I'll hang it.
But if you had that $2,000, would you really spend it on a ring apron?
Yeah, but I think Jack mentioned High Spots, and I think I went to that website one time. And I think I found some other items that I like to buy as well.
They used to sell the Boot Band CD.
Mm-hmm.
The Hulk Hogan Boot Band CD. That's what I'd be buying.
Big seller.
I had that CD at one time. Actually, I think I had the cassette tape.
Did you put it in the car and rock out to it? Like,
yeah. I think that came out when I was in high school.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We laughed at it mostly. Me and my friends that liked wrestling, we would laugh at it because it was so cheesy.
Yeah.
I used to give it out on the show.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anything else before we get to the questions that you guys want to talk about, Vic?
A good match on SmackDown between the Street Profits and the Usos.
Oh, yeah, that was a crazy match.
That was a really good match.
Yeah. What's his name? I always forget his name, but he took a crazy bump. He just went over the freaking ring.
Montez Ford?
Montez Ford, yeah. He went over the whole thing and just straight to the ground. I was like, good Lord, that was like crazy. But yeah, very good match there.
But I wanted to ask Steven a question about Raw. You did watch Raw this week.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
I saw some of the highlights, and I saw of the match between AJ Styles and Omos against Elias and Jackson Riker. Yeah. And in the middle of a championship match, Elias just out of the blue walks out on him.
Yes, he did.
Was there any kind of setup for that?
No, none whatsoever. He did do an interview afterwards explaining it, but even explaining it, I thought, if you're going to walk out on your tag team partner, usually you do that after you lose a match. You might, just get fed up with him and then walk out on him. But he did it during a championship match, which made absolutely no sense whatsoever.
Maybe he's just ate up with the jealousy that there is another guitarist on TV with Boogs. He has to go and get Boogs.
Guitar Hero. Why do they have another guitarist? They already have one that's got all the tools to be a big star, but they waste away.
They just decided to hire another one to come out with Shinsuke Nakamura. And he plays his intro music. So,
hey, Lexar, I cashed in my scratch ticket winnings earlier this week, and then I won a couple more hundred after that.
I think that's fake.
No,
that picture is fake.
Pretty real to me.
That's not your hand.
Looks pretty real.
Anyways, Shayna Baszler lost
You
to
can
Reginald
contribute
last
that
night.
to the Lexar Fund to help him buy the ring apron, Jack.
There you go.
Then to one up me, my buddy Chi-Town Matt Lexar texts me when he won $40,000 on a slot machine.
Well, maybe Chi-Town Matt could just buy you the apron for you. If you want all that.
I also want the WCW Monday Nitro canvas that's on there as well. That also costs like $2,500.
Oh, why go so cheap? Why get you like a whole ring while you're at it?
Do you have room in?
Why would I put a ring?
Can you fit a whole ring in your room?
No, I can't. It's too small.
Dang.
Well, it's not small. It's kind of like medium.
How about you just get a small ring that like you play action figures in?
Yeah, tiny one that like stands like only like 2 feet.
Yeah, put it in that would look cool.
Mm-mm.
Well, if you could own any used wrestling memorabilia, what would it be?
A ring canvas from WCW.
Oh, really?
I think it's one of the either WCW had plenty of logos on their canvases dating back to 1994. Huh? Yeah,
Which
WCW.
logo?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe a pay-per-view logo, like a uncensored or Super Bowl.
Halloween Havoc.
Halloween Havoc is too big.
Like a banner from one of the pay-per-views, like WrestleMania or maybe even Star.
I want the canvas. I want a canvas to put as like a carpet in my room.
That looks good. Incher, what would yours be if you could own anything used in the ring?
Anything used in the ring? I would like to own. Vince McMahon.
Man, you want his ass to do tricks for you?
I don't know. I just like to own him.
Would you degrade him?
I'd make him like if anything he wants to do in WWE, he'd have to approve it through me first. So I'd be running the show basically.
And you make him eat corn dogs.
I'm like, you're gonna try a corn dog today, Vince. I don't care what you say. And I'd start doing the airplane. I'm like, he'd close his mouth. And I'm like, come on now, Vince. And he's like, get away from me with that damn thing. He'd have mustard all over him. Here comes again.
Al Wolb wants to know, is Intra happy that they're teaching first graders about masturbation?
Why would I be? I guess. I don't know. I mean, I guess. I don't know. Well, why would I be happy about that? Why is he asking me this?
I don't know.
Lexar, why is he asking me this?
No clue. That's his own sick mind.
There you go, the sick mind.
Sick mind.
He also wants to know if any of us would wear these pants. Now, there's an actual company that sells jeans that makes it look like you pissed your pants. They're called Wet Pants Denim.
What the hell?
See, that was a denim company that was going out of business, and then we got to get a hook here. Let's try to think of something. So
I would not wear those.
Denim. Yeah, I don't think I'd want to wear that either.
There's still a step above the jeans that come with the pre-belt holes, you know. So
yeah, it has holes in it and stuff. But still, it's like people be like, that guy just pissed himself over. I mean, are you going to explain to everybody? No, they're just pants. That's how they're designed. Here, smell it. Smell my crotch. You know?
That's a good angle.
Yeah.
Jonathan Jackson, do you think Brian Cage will ever defend the FTW World Heavyweight Championship?
I thought it was on the line Sunday when he lost. I said, "Where's the belt at?" And then I realized it wasn't out there. And
yeah, I never
there, by the way,
why
live.
they brought it in. I don't think it's a good fit for him. It never made sense to me.
And
that's
like
the ECW title. That should have stayed there.
Yeah. Did Taz ever defend it, or did like?
Yeah, he did until they unified it. He wrestled, I think, Bam Bam Bigelow, and when Bam Bam was the world champion, and they unified it, and Taz became like the world champion or something, and I think that was it. And that they got rid of it.
Urias,
or it might have been Sabu. It was one of the two.
Urias Tosh, do you think Max Caster deserved a little more time in the Casino Battle Royal? And we mentioned this earlier. Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's going to give Songman a run for his rapping skills, the rhyming skills.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
John,
I'll tell you, the biggest pop of the night was Jungle Boy winning.
That was good.
I don't think I'd ever heard a crowd that loud.
Yeah. You actually kind of think it was a little down, like some people complaining with Mark Henry being the surprise. Do you think that was kind of low after a big night?
I don't think did they announce there would be a surprise? Like, I didn't know that they made a big,
No, I don't think they announced anything about Mark Henry. The only surprise I knew about was the mystery person in the Battle Royal, which was Leo Rush. And everybody I talked to, nobody had him being the mystery guy.
Mm-hmm.
That was a surprise.
Yeah.
John Barker, how hard were you guys seeing crowds at AEW? I was really happy.
I was happy.
I don't know if y'all heard me earlier. I was there.
I
went to the show.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was in Jacksonville, and it was amazing. And I tell everybody, I've been to 5 WrestleManias live. That show was better than all of them but WrestleMania 30 that I've been to live.
Mm-hmm.
I know when I've been to AEW shows, they're the best live shows I've been to. The crowd's so into them.
They were. I mean, that tag title match and the heavyweight title match was like 2 of the most intense matches I've ever watched.
That's
and
awesome.
for people that like to shit on Orange Cassidy, he proved himself.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Sunday night.
Well, this one definitely with the crowd was over WrestleMania Part 2 because, like we complained about, Part 2 was nothing big. So this was really on top of the game, even though it was one night start to finish.
Oh yeah.
What would your wrestling theme song be?
You got the touch. You got the power. Yeah.
Oh my God. I remember that song.
From the Transformers
From the
film?
Transformers movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Stan Bush who sung it.
Excellent. What would yours be, Jackie Jones?
The Jackie Jones song.
Oh. Songman, do you have an intro?
That or Bound for Glory, maybe.
Oh, was that? I lost you from it. About what?
What would your ring music be if you were a wrestler?
I'm the man, such the man. I'm the real song man, and I do whatever I can for one of my one and only fan to give them a song to make them go, God damn.
Oh my.
That's pretty good, John.
Yeah. Nice.
What would Vic's theme song be?
Yeah, I know Vic's got one.
Actually, I don't. I can't think.
No song. I could see you coming out to Natural Born Killers like New Jack. You got to bring it back.
Maybe the Godfather theme.
He'll come out to a Bob Seger song.
All right.
Does Trip have a Lucky Puppies?
Which Bob Seger song?
Hollywood Nights.
All right,
Hollywood
That's a good
Nights.
one. How about you, Lexar? What are you coming
Maybe
out?
Vic Schwarning should come out to a Meatloaf song instead.
He would do anything for love?
No, Bat Out of Hell, maybe.
All right, that won't work.
I like that.
That works.
I'm not sure about mine. I don't know about mine. But if I could throw a super kick, a real good super kick, it'll be Shawn Michaels. Entrance theme. I'm just a sexy boy.
He just that'd be good.
Vic. He has the kick, and he can do the super kick because it's nice and boot is really thick, like a stick.
Damn. Damn, Incher.
There
Got the
you go.
thick stick
Yeah,
for you.
Song Man, I had somebody because you put a song for Faith for her graduation.
Oh, yeah.
And her boyfriend read that and he said, "Wow, he's just like Dr. Seuss."
Oh, that's really interesting. I wasn't even aware of that. Congratulations once again to her.
Would you steal the Young Bucks $10,000 shoes?
No, stealing's wrong. And
There you go.
Nah,
Pixar would.
yeah.
He's
and that's like Grand Theft
Auto
Auto if like you're stealing like $10,000 shoes.
Pixar's getting excited about stealing them shoes.
Yeah, and reselling him on eBay, getting that cash, and getting that shotgun Saturday Night Ring apron.
There you
Mhm.
go. Dobbs wants to know, do you think it was wise when Paul White was high-fiving everyone in the audience, spreading COVID around like a government mule? Dobbs, you ever walked on grass barefoot? Of course, all the time. Not so much now, but when I was a kid, yes, often. It's a great feeling.
Yeah, that's like how I found out I was allergic to bees, is I got stung by a bee.
Oh, really? So you got bad times.
Yeah, and it was swelled up. My foot swelled up really big, and yeah, so.
Then he wants to know, have you ever stepped on dog turds with barefoot? And do you like the feeling when it squishes up between your toes?
No.
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 A weird one, dog.
What's wrong with Dobbs? Like, seriously, he's your young boy. You need to get that guy some like counseling or something. I mean, this falls upon you here. You're supposed to be watching out for his well-being.
I don't know. I got this needs a little talking to, I think. But we'll work it
A
out.
little talk. You're not like a certified therapist or anything.
I am.
You're
How do
not
you
going to
know
do him
that?
any good. I mean, look at you. You're barely paying attention to what I'm saying right now. You're not good to talk to.
You were just studying Spanish or something on your phone.
What was I doing? I was looking up something.
Probably porn.
Porn? No. No.
Or corn dog recipes or something.
All right, you got me there. I don't know
Baseball
how you
porn.
knew. Spaceballs porn? Is there even such a thing? I'm sure there is, but I mean, I know there's Star Wars porn, but like Spaceballs porn, like the parody of Star Wars, they do a porn of, you know.
If there was what Spaceballs character would you want to pleasure yourself to in a pornography version?
Probably a Pizza the Hut.
Pizza.
You got a big pepperoni for Pizza the Hut?
Yeah.
Pizza the Hut.
JR and Tony Schiavone were making a lot of errors in their commentary. Why are they so old?
I think he was getting kind of hot during the match with Britt Baker and Sheeta, because he was like, "Look at their sweaty bodies." He said like something about like them getting all hot and sweaty, and I was like, I think JR is getting a little.
JR is an old perv. He gets horny a lot. He posts pictures like showing his junk and stuff.
Yeah, somebody needs to help JR out.
I thought Tony actually was really good on the pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
What young wrestler, Iris Tosh wants to know, what young wrestler should the Godfather pass the Papa Shango gimmick on to? Who should be the new Papa Shango?
Alexa Bliss.
Alexa Bliss. Actually, I think that's ruining her career, but
Scorpio
whole...
Sky, he could be new Papa Shango.
Alien Cross.
Carrying Cross, yeah, that would be probably a pretty good one.
Maybe it would help Tucker.
Tucker?
Yeah.
Well, he'd have to be employed first, but
this will bring him back into the fold.
Yeah, help old Tucker out. Bring him back into the fold.
He needs it. Poor Tucky.
Who knows? I mean, Otis isn't being really used that much anymore. They just got him like as a bad guy with Chad Gable.
I heard that's good. I haven't seen it though, but
him and Chad Gable.
Yeah.
I mean, they've had some bits here and there, but it's nothing like consistent. They're not like consistently on there.
Here, I took this picture earlier today, and sure for you. It's the Lonely Tucker.
Oh,
I was at Target.
It's still there too.
Yeah. Been there for a couple weeks now. It's the one wrestling figure they have.
How much would they have to mark that down to? Is this where you would buy it?
I just wouldn't.
Like, even if it was $1, would you buy it? Would you buy that for $1?
Probably not.
Lexar would probably buy it for $1.
Or that Walmart. I'm sorry. Target actually had a lot of figures.
Mm-hmm.
Target had a Bobby the Brain Heenan figure in the Weasel suit. It's actually pretty cool.
Brains Heenan has a question for you in the chat here, Jack. He wants to know, is MJF Rob Feinstein's young boy, and was he the one who took the shit on your lawn? Well, it wasn't your lawn. It was just a video of somebody taking shit on the lawn. So I think he had that a little messed up there.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he's his young boy. I think he's just his cousin or something.
Mm-hmm.
Has Incher ever been up to Wheeling, West Virginia? And if so, what are your thoughts?
I've never been to Wheeling, West Virginia, no. Is this a loaded question?
He just says it looks like a nice place on Google Maps.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been to Wheeling. I don't even think I've been through it, so I've never been there. I hear there's a casino there, but that's about all I know about Wheeling.
Owl wants to know, would Lexar the moms of In Your Head?
No.
You've got respect.
No moms being Lexard.
No moms.
No moms.
Kevin Paralysis wants to know, why can't the children pray in school? Who made such a rule? We'll have to ask Michael Hayes.
Yeah, he might know the answer to that.
Stephen Butler, what are your thoughts? Where did Stephen go? What are your thoughts on John Cena wrestling on a WWE show again and in front of live fans in 2021 after his apology to the country of China for his comments on Taiwan?
I've heard that's really hurt that movie. Like, it's
I don't think so, but yeah, I know if you actually read the link, it's really just like clickbait.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's really not even hurt, like, because that's where those movies sell the best, though, isn't it? Like, they sell the most tickets.
Yeah, but it's just everyone says it sucks. Is what when you actually read the thing. Plus, it doesn't have The Rock in it. I think it doesn't have the actual draws of the movie in it.
Mm-hmm. Brains Heenan has another question for you. Well, just everybody. He says, is Cesaro a moron for falling for the WWE one and done title match for re-signing with him? I didn't know that was his contract was up, but
yeah, he re-signed the company and then stayed. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens.
So it probably was that, because knowing their track record.
How do we know it's the end of it?
I mean, he hasn't been on SmackDown. he was out.
Well, how long has it been? Like a week?
It's only been like a week. So, and Seth Rollins did mention him, but
I would give it a little bit of a shot, a little bit of time.
I mean, they're pretty notorious for this, though.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, I would still give it more than a week to say he's all over. A feud with Seth Rollins is still one of the main guys, too.
Yeah, Seth Rollins is the higher up guy, so, and he did mention him, so they could be continuing the feud. And SmackDown is really like night and day different from Raw. Like,
from
Raw,
whenever I watch it, it is a much better show.
Yeah, like Steven, he said that Raw, he fell asleep during it, a week or so ago. Did Steven leave?
I guess he came back and waved, and then
I guess he had to go. Well, anyways, I watched that Raw, and I can see that was totally nothing happening Raw last week. I mean, it was bad. It was just boring.
Well, first of all, I'm not seeing one single change after WrestleMania even ended. This has been the whole thing. SmackDown's been in and out with different stories, but Raw's getting us the same. It's definitely without a doubt time to go to 2 hours now. It's not working at all.
Yeah, I don't see why Raw has to be 3 hours. It's just not good. Not good. Alrighty, Jackie.
It needs to go back to 2 hours. There's too much
Yeah.
programming on each week. You got Raw, you got NXT, SmackDown. That's 7 hours of live programming. That's just way too much.
Yeah.
Well, the bottom line is we got a month or so left, so we got to get something different before the crowds come back. That's the bottom line we have to get ready for.
Well, and it's all about money because WWE's taking a handout wherever they can get it. That's why they sold the network to Peacock. That's why they got Fox to buy SmackDown. They're just taking money wherever they can get it.
Where Tyler Stevens? What would Incher have to do for Jack to get him off the tracks for good?
So, like, if I did something for you, you would stop walking the tracks?
Yeah, but it's nothing. I mean, if you paid me obscene amount, but I mean, it's just a dumb thing. It's like,
I bet even if I paid you an obscene amount, you would still do it secretly. There's no real knowing whether you're following.
The train tracks are so annoying. I have to pause my audio book when the train comes by because it's so goddamn loud. If it would be a little more quiet, I could just keep walking and not have to worry about it. But it drowns out my audiobook. It's so loud. And that I'm talking, I could be like a mile away from the train tracks and you just hear it's like, oh God, it's so loud. Gotta pause the book or else I'll have to rewind because I won't be able to hear what's happening.
I see. But like, there's nothing like I could do to like prevent you. Like,
Well, it's not prevent. It's like it's like asking like what
to
would
save
Jack
you from yourself because
have to do
you seem to be determined to go down this road here.
The question is like, what would Jack have to do to make Incher stop playing pinball machines? Like, why would you want to do that? You don't want to do it because you enjoy it. I don't want to stop walking the tracks because I enjoy
playing a pinball machine isn't dangerous. Though.
Neither is walking the tracks.
I mean,
that is my point.
It's illegal.
Technically, it's not immoral.
It's illegal, and
I seen cops. Cops have seen me walk on the tracks, and they wave to me. They don't care.
I need these officers' names. This has to be reported. They just wave at you.
Yeah, no one cares about this. This isn't something. It's like technically walking across the street. Not going over the crosswalk is illegal too, but like no one cares unless it's like a busy highway or something.
Is this normal for the cops up there? Do they just kind of overlook a lot of things? I mean, this is something
that literally no one cares about.
This is a serious offense, and they're just waving at you. Oh my goodness. Did like donuts fall out of their pockets when they put their hand up to wave at you? I mean, what's the deal here? What's with these cops?
I respect the police of the town.
They should have had your nose to the stone on the floor.
You're wanting them to be like Big Boss Man or something. Just start beating
you down and roughing you up and like, why are you walking on the tracks, sir?
When I first started, so there's like areas of my town. It's a diverse place. So over here is where I live is very suburban. Like everyone's obsessed with their lawn, kind of, you know what I mean? Like right out of the suburbs. Then a little bit down here, it's very blue collar and like fisherman village over by the canal where the fishermen live and stuff. And then up here, you go up towards this way, it's like ritzy MJF people who have big like houses along the water and stuff like that. But then I never really walk up there. But over this way, the really old homes, and they all have the date that it was built and the original family name. Like they all have these placards on them. So when I keep adventuring further into town. And so when I started walking there, this is true story last year, because I kept, furthering how much I'd walk. I thought in my mind, that's like, is the police following me? I must just be, thinking this. But they like would tail me when I walk around these old homes. I think that's where kind of the old money lives. And then for a good month, they would tail me every time I'd walk there. They just follow me slowly. And then eventually they just stopped. I guess they assumed I'm not taking out the joint to rob anybody.
Galga 13 here. He brings up in the chat room. He says the only thing that could kill Jack on the tracks is another person.
Exactly.
Which that is a danger about the track.
Well, that's a danger about life. I mean, if you're gonna live in fear of anything that can happen, you're not gonna enjoy life at all. You're just gonna sit in your room and then hide in a ball.
Not normally people who are walking the tracks are people who aren't exactly all together, Jack. I don't know if that's the
not
situation
around here. Where the hell do you think I don't live in like downtown Chicago or something?
Well, if you lived anywhere that had like a population of large groups,
I live
you
on
would
Cape
run into some
Cod.
unsavory characters. If you went on the tracks where I live, you would probably run into some hobos who would want to stick.
Well, I don't. That's like when I'm in a city, people always say, "Oh, you got to be afraid." But no, if you're in a city and you stay in the areas like that's well populated and lit up, you're gonna be. I can't say fine. Obviously, something can always happen wherever you are. But if you think that, you're never gonna do anything. But if you're in a city and you start walking down like where there's no lights down an alley, that's when bad things can happen to you. But if you're in a city and you're walking down just the road where there's buildings and there's open, restaurants and stores, if you're probably going to be totally fine.
But there is a lot more train traffic. So
the train part, you're fine. There's no way, unless you're walking on train tracks where there's no way to get off them. So if you're in some area where it's like up on a mountain, and if the train's like even a mile away and there's no way you can get off of it, then you're. But if where I am, I can easily step off to the train track. You can literally hear from like probably I'm not even exaggerating, probably 2 miles away, you can hear the train. And then once it's within like a mile or less than a mile, it's so loud. There's no possible way you couldn't hear it unless there was something, physically wrong with you. You're mentally, challenged, or you're just obliterated on drugs or alcohol. It's the only way. Just the truth.
You're just dead set on going down this road. You don't want to listen to me. You're just gonna. There's no help for just trying to watch out for your well-being.
Afraid of life.
I mean, I thought the authorities might do something.
It's more dangerous walking down the highway. There's way more likely you're going to get hit by a car.
I wouldn't suggest you do that either.
Yeah, you're not going to walk I don't mean down the middle of the highway, but it's more dangerous just walking along on the sidewalk near the highway. You're more likely to get hit by a car. You're more likely to get run over by a car anywhere than you are going to get hit by a train.
But it's not illegal to walk down the highway.
Man, you're just a pussy. I mean, I'm trying to be nice, but
what? I'd like to see you say that to my face.
Well, I can't, because you're sitting there shivering in your chair, and while I'm walking out, on the train tracks.
Any fear in these eyes? You see any fear in these eyes?
I hear fear in the voice, fear of tracks, fear of bears.
I'm just trying to follow the rules and watch out for my well-being. I tell everybody on
this guy
when I close it, keep your noses clean and stay out of trouble. But you, sir, are looking for trouble.
The Mighty Lexar wants to know if Jack watched all 4 hours of wrestling last Friday night, including the 2 hours of SmackDown and 2 hours of Dynamite.
I'd put just about everything that I own that he did not watch SmackDown last week.
Nope. Yeah, I just watch AEW. I'm sure
watched-
SmackDown's good.
I watched
Nothing against it so
AEW
much.
Friday night. Didn't watch SmackDown.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Trent.
I will say AEW show on Friday night wasn't much happening. Like they had like a weigh-in.
I think they probably knew. Yeah, the weigh-in, there was some good match on the show, but the weigh-in was completely pointless. Big Show doesn't know how to use a scale. And I didn't
Yeah, that was
understand
embarrassing.
I didn't understand what the point of the
It's
whole
like-
segment was.
Yeah, just
All
say
that
something,
was
Paul.
build up to the pay-per-view, and Cody's
Yeah, but not
match
good build
was
up.
the worst match on the card.
I didn't have a problem with it. I expected it to be, total really bad, but I personally think he got the best match you could possibly get out of a go.
And they're going to be on Friday this week, so they're not on tomorrow.
There'll be more actual matches this Friday because it'll be return matches and getting ready for
such a hot pay-per-view that they're not on their regular time slot. Because I think
it's
really
it's kind of hard, and I don't think they got a good. I think they only got about 550,000 views last week.
I'm not really
was
someone who
down.
cares much about ratings, but yeah. Lexar's watching the basketball game.
Is that the Lakers?
No, this is what is preempting AEW Dynamite.
Is that the Harlem
playoff basketball.
Globetrotters? That's the Harlem Globetrotters, right? Taking on the Washington Generals.
Lakers and
is Meadowlark Lemon out there?
But I would like to point out that AEW had a fan fest over the weekend before Double or Nothing, and AEW have come out with a brand new products.
I know the toys look awesome. Yeah, I'm a big fan. I like. They put out a bunch of toys that remind me of when I was a kid. They get the wrestling buddies and they got the big solid rubber guys like the LJN guys.
Oh, neat.
They got some of them coming out. But yeah, the wrestling buddies, and they're really well made. They're very fun looking.
They said in the Ultimate Warrior documentary that was his favorite piece of merchandise.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
So he wasn't all bad. He liked the wrestling buddies.
I might have misread Tyler Stevens' question because he might be asking what would Incher have to do for Jack to get off?
You didn't misread nothing. You had it right the first time.
Maybe.
Tyler Stevens wouldn't do that too.
You're talking about meeting seedy individuals on the tracks. Is this what he's talking about?
I'm reading right here, and this is in black and white. It's clear as a bell. Brains Heenan says, OIB is the train that will run you down. Choo choo.
He's too afraid. Might get hit by lightning twice or something.
God, what a dumb movie.
There was a guy, I'm sorry I forget your name, but he posted on Facebook. He went to see it at the theater. He's like, I was thinking about going to see this, but after hearing Jack and Inter talk about it, I have to see it.
Well, yeah, it is kind of one of those things you gotta have to see. Getting hit twice, same day.
Should have played some slots or
yeah, really,
some kind of lotto. LaQuinn Vanderpool Higgins. Will Britt Baker hold the strap for a long time? I would say yes.
I'd say she's in it for the long haul unless she gets injured.
Very true.
Which is very possible.
Would you rather take a kendo shot from Sheeta or the Sandman? Probably Sheeta because she's not drunk.
Yeah, Sandman, God only knows where he'll hit you with that thing.
How big is Batista's dick?
Oh,
God.
Again.
I bet not that big. What do you think, Incher? Whoa.
Oh.
Incher remembers. 10 inches?
10.
Damn. How'd you take that, Incher?
I didn't take it.
Oh.
I was just telling you my own. I didn't know you were asking about Batista.
I didn't say the depth of your butthole. I meant
Who I am? A knobs here? What's the deal? No.
that's circumference.
Yeah, to do that, I'd have to be like taking probably about knobs. Got about 50 millimeters in.
Brian Matthew Clutter, Incher's young boy, wants to know: should Glacier have been hanging out in the freezer during Stadium Stampede?
Yeah, that would have been cool. And then like those pigs, they looked so fake, but no, it's fine.
Yeah, that was the one thing. It kind of made me laugh, but they could have done without those.
That looked like something out of the Whites.
yeah, they didn't need that.
There was a joke on the internet that Alexa Bliss's pet pig had passed away, and they used.
I don't think it was a joke.
Yeah, it was weird to me that so many people made fun of her pet dying. I thought that was kind of strange.
Yeah, I guess just because it's a pig, but I mean, she likes pigs.
Sad anytime your pet dies. It's a pretty bad time.
She's attached to it.
Well, that's a joke. They think.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
That pet pig was hanging in that.
Oh, I see. Oh, geez.
Jason Mitten, why do In Your Head fans hate Cody Rhodes so much? I don't know either. I'm not sure why. I'm a big fan.
I think why would you hate Cody? Just because he helped run the company. And I mean, he's not. He has never been world champion. He's never main evented really. I mean, he's not Triple H. He's not out to ruin people's careers.
Yeah, I think if anything, he could book himself as more of a top guy, but he never has a bad match. This one, I won't say this is one of the better matches, but I always think he has one of the highlight matches of the show. Yeah. I've been to the live shows. He's always like, especially after the show when he comes out and talks to the crowd, it's always a big segment. I remember being at shows, he comes out and throws his boots out and turnbuckles and everything to the crowd.
I don't see why anybody should not like him. I think he's one of the standout parts of the show. I mean,
me too.
I like him.
I didn't think his match Sunday was that good, but
no, I didn't like that.
I honestly,
that's better than what you normally gonna get, on USA.
I would not blame Cody. I don't think it was a great match, but I think if it wasn't for Cody, it probably would have been like unwatchable.
Tyler S says his promos are garbage.
The other guy was terrible.
I couldn't disagree more.
Yeah, I don't agree at all. I think he's one of the best promo guys in the business, honestly.
Yeah.
But honestly though, these same people that think this, I'm not even trying to be a dick or something, but the same people think Nick Gage is like one of the best, has the most star power in wrestling. So I mean, their opinion is I won't say it's bad, but it's the opposite of my views.
The opposite of good.
Yeah, like honestly, who do you think? Who in your mind is not even a bigger star, but who do you think has more star appeal? Cody Rhodes or Nick Gage? I mean,
I would say Cody Rhodes.
It's like this meth guy, who's robbing the bank, and then you guys are telling me to avoid seeing, and that's a guy you guys are telling me to avoid when walking the train tracks.
Yeah, probably.
Who are you more excited for as a commentator, Mark Henry or Paul White? In an honest opinion, I think Mark Henry will be a better commentator.
Yeah.
My biggest question to this, by the way, is anything can happen now in AEW, so can the sexual chocolate be brought back then?
Probably not, because I would assume WWE owns the rights to that.
Yeah.
Everybody,
but they did take it from coming to America.
Some of the people in the section I was in, they were chanting sexual chocolate, clap, 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 sexual chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe his hand will wrestle.
Maybe.
Mark Henry Jr. Whatever happened to Mark Henry Jr. used to call into the show?
Yeah, I know.
The child, the Mark Henry.
We must have upset him or something.
Yeah. Why does AEW keep signing semi-retired former WWE wrestlers in their late 40s to early 60s? There really isn't that many.
No.
Yeah. No, by the way,
WWE has a ton of Ring of Honor guys.
Yeah, hardly any of them actually wrestle either.
Yeah. I was very surprised, by the way, that you brought that up, how Sting was at that night. I didn't expect the code red.
No, me neither. That was awesome.
Mhm.
That was so fun.
And a lot of people were shitting on Sting going over at 60-something years old. I was like, did you watch the show? Sting is still over.
Yeah, I mean, let's be
Sting at
honest.
71 is still over.
Who would watch that and like, oh boy, it's so great that Scorpio Sky beats Sting. Like, would you want to see that? No one wants to see that.
No. I don't want to.
Yeah, I had several guys in a Facebook group. They were shitting on the fact that Sting won. I said, "Did you watch the show? Sting is over. I was there.
Yeah, I
there
mean,
was
that
like
was one to me.
4 or 5.
That was
You
my
still
favorite
got
part
it,
of the
chance,
show.
and during that match,
Mm-hmm.
Sting can still go for being 60-something years old.
Like the old heroes, I like to see them shine. I don't want to see them just get their ass beat. That just makes me sad if you see, like, one of the veterans.
That's all you get on WWE. They're just there to be put over like somebody else, and
not even put over in a good way, like, where like they still shine, like just to make them look like a total goof. Like, I don't know.
That was
That's
Sting's first match in 6 years. He still had it. Yeah, if you don't want the 60-year-old guy pinning somebody, then Darby Allin should have gotten the fall then instead of Sting. But still, there's no way that other team could go over.
I liked it. I think it was the right thing.
I did too. I liked it.
Yeah.
Who's the best casino battle royale wild card? Hangman Page, Matt Sydal, Mercedes Martinez, or Leo Rush? Hangman Page, I think.
Yeah, Hangman Page.
Matt Sydal because he botched on his first move.
That's your favorite? I think it kind of hurt him, though, honestly. Laquan Vanderpool Higgins. What guy from the 80s couldn't make it today?
A guy from the 80s couldn't make it today?
Yeah. Probably a lot of them.
A
guy like the Warlord, maybe. I would think like a big guy really couldn't do anything.
Bobby Eaton.
A big guy?
I actually think Bobby.
How about one-man gang / Akeem?
Huh?
No way that Akeem gimmick would go over today.
The Akeem gimmick? Well, probably not. You probably just. I don't think they would do the gimmick, but
Ultimate Warrior, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. He does. Even though I'm not a fan, does the connection to the crowd, but his in-ring stuff was so bad, like it would be hard to be passable today. You can't be like a really poor wrestler today and be over it all. I don't think.
Brains Heenan says Buck Zumhofe. I think for obvious reasons.
Yeah, I don't know. The Benoit crowd might be into him.
Yeah,
he could throw a really good suplex. They would look over it.
They'd look over about anything.
Now I kind of want to say the 1980s Andre. I don't think would get over today.
The late 80s Andre would, because he couldn't move, he couldn't walk.
Yeah, they wouldn't.
You watch some of his stuff from like the late 80s, and Andre's in so much pain. He just doesn't need to be in the ring.
Yeah, there's a couple things. I don't think the crowd would be as forgiving, and also he'd be way overexposed because he'd be on TV every week. Is Incher ready for the new era of AEW being ushered in by the signings of Leo Rush and Mark Henry?
Sure, I guess.
See, it is. I know they say, "Oh, you get mad if people should," but it's like that show is so good, and then you just focus on they brought in Mark Henry. It's like, there was one little thing of the show that really didn't matter,
and it's probably just like they're just gonna have him commentary. And like Mark Henry has done some good skits. Like he's been a part of.
I'm not a fan. A lot of people are fans of him.
He's done like some good stuff in wrestling. That
as promo wise, I think a lot of his highlight was, like I said, when he did the fake retirement. That was his best.
That was great.
I'll wait and see. I don't know. Maybe it'll be a great com. Maybe it won't be. I don't know. This is the first time I heard Paul White, and I didn't think he was good.
No, he didn't seem very good.
Should New Japan, this is Jason, should New Japan Pro Wrestling team with WWE or AEW? So
people don't say AEW.
There was this thing going out there that they were WWE's trying to get him to work with them, but from what I understand, Meltzer reported it that it was just regarding what's his name, the Yes Chant guy,
The Yes Chant guy.
yeah,
Daniel
Bryan. But if they were trying to get them to work together, I mean, just look at the history of WWE and how they've used Japanese wrestlers. It's not been good at all. So even though WWE is clearly a bigger promotion, it's got the history behind it, I think they would be used much better in AEW. But but I have to say, New Japan bringing in WWE guys would probably do well in Japan because they could bring in, some mainstream guys. But overall, I would say it would be a better fit with AEW.
The only time WWE has a better usage of a Japanese wrestler, but it's not Japanese wrestler. It's Yokozuna.
Yokozuna and Mr. Fuji. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Honestly, I think the best Japanese person ever used in WWE is Asuka.
Yeah, probably. I'd say that is a good example of when they've actually used a.
And they've kind of made her into goofy with like the scream and stuff, but like they've actually pushed her though. Al, is Jack happy that the reboot of Rugrats is doing his favorite trope of taking a strong female who likes sports and turning them into a lesbian? I'll explain the backstory. Phil and Lil's parents in the original Rugrats had their gender roles flipped. The mom was strong and into sports, etc., and the dad was soft and did the cooking and cleaning. My problem with this, I don't want because I don't. People read that and think I'm homophobic, which I'm not. All my issue with that is the idea, because I've known strong women in my life. I was raised by my grandma and my mom, both of them straight, and there's nothing wrong if they weren't. But and she's talked about this. Okay, Annabelle Lecter. People have thought, well, okay, I don't want to put her in this, but the idea is if you're a strong woman, people have this mindset that you are a lesbian because you're tough or whatever. So I think that's the idea that you have to be a lesbian. Then it plays on that, plays off that stereotype.
Yeah.
So I don't care if you are, that's fine. But the idea is if you're a strong woman, it doesn't mean you have to be a lesbian. You could be, a straight woman. Look at Ronda Rousey. She's straight. She's beating people. Jason Mitten. I just think it plays on a negative stereotype that any woman that could is physical has to be a lesbian. Jason Mitten. Would circa 2010 Jackie Jones become a superstar for his politically incorrect views and don't care attitude or just get canceled? Now, this is kind of see, I don't think people really understand all this stuff was always a sense of humor. Stuff that I said wasn't like my actual views. Like I never thought that midgets aren't people. Like when I used to joke about stuff like that. I mean, if you listen to that and you realize, oh, this is this guy's views, I think we're a little touching that. I mean, I remember there's people who thought I was really a necrophiliac because I would say, or like I'm actually into the stuff that they do in the Human Centipede or something. It's like, no, these were jokes I made. Like these weren't political views of mine. That they were jokes I would say on the show.
Yeah.
I always thought that was pretty clear. But over years, I've noticed that people that wasn't clear to a lot of people. They thought like these. I said this a few weeks ago. It's this weird thing that, and this is both sides. People will hear any type of joke now, and they think it's like some type of like actual like just a statement, like you're saying. And it's and it ruins comedy, and not even comedy that would be edgy. It would ruin all of comedy, even like a knock joke. Because like if you took like the most basic knock joke, you could tear it apart, and obviously it doesn't make sense. Like obviously an orange isn't going to knock at your door, like an old knock joke. The orange is It's like, well, this doesn't make any sense. An orange could knock at your door. Well, no, it's a joke. You say something totally absurd. That's what makes it funny. So whether it's an orange knocking at your door, that's obviously can't happen. So it's a stupid joke. It's funny. Or if you say something so shocking in a way or out there, outlandish, that's a joke. That's what makes it funny. It's not that you're joking about that thing. Owl, does Intra think black people should receive reparations?
Wow.
I don't know.
See, Owl was always projecting stuff onto me. That is not my views. So nobody go away believing this. But and he is. I would say something back, but we might get a strike on our show again. So because he's a very poor sport.
Tony Khan. Nikhil, I'm sorry. I started the question almost, then I thought I'm like Tony Khan sent this in. Tony Khan said a current AEW roster member will be the commentator on AEW Rampage. Who will it be? I think it's Jericho. I'm going to actually guess it'll be Christopher Daniels.
That's what I was thinking too.
Jericho's a good guess though too, but I think Daniels. That would be a good transition, for him now that he's not going to wrestle, I guess. Thoughts on Leo Rush's run in WWE and any memories? I mean, it really never took off.
I mean, he came out and he was the hype man for Lashley. I mean, what was good about that?
It didn't last or anything, so.
Yeah.
I thought he showed he had charisma and stuff, so I'm going to give him a shot in AEW, see what he does.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Thoughts? I was going to have him on. We were going to have him on the show, but then he wanted money, so it didn't happen. Thoughts on Mark Henry signing with AEW? I think we've been over this a lot. I'm clearly not a bit, but I'm going to give it a shot like anybody else. We'll see what happens. We'll get back to it in a couple weeks and see. I mean, I'm not excited about it. My original, thought process. Who's winning the triple threat between Johnny Gargano, Kyle O'Reilly, and Pete Finn?
I think O'Reilly.
Well, it's going to be a 5-way now.
No.
Yep, it's 5-way.
Dang.
At the next pay-per-view, NXT TakeOver in your house.
Hot damn. You ever been in a 5-way, Lexar?
5-way with women? I wish it was. Maybe 5 strippers. Just like that.
I would suggest bring protection. Yeah, if you were going to do that. Protection.
He's living on the edge. It's like this is his own version of walking the train tracks.
See, I'm trying to watch out for him, and he keeps shaking.
I'm with Intra on this one. I'm with you.
He's like, yeah. Be careful there. That's a very, very dangerous road to walk down. Dangerous set of tracks to walk down, perhaps. See what I did there?
Or the whole train for Lexar. Thoughts on Elias splitting up with Jackson Riker? Wow, this is shocking.
Stupid. It was stupid. Just out of the blue, stupid.
Just from what you all described, that he just walked away from a title match seems pretty dumb. I could see afterwards if they lost, but yeah.
It shows that WWE doesn't care about their tag team division on Raw. SmackDown's different, so.
Brains has another question for you. He wants to know, are the rumors true that Jack will be launching In Your Bread show on local sandwich MA TV?
No, too much carbs.
Oh, okay. Too much carbs.
Unless it would just be a cheat day show.
There you go. Carbohydrates. So
I think we might have got a question from the
devious.
Someone emailed. I don't mention that enough, but if you listen to the show and you and you're not on the social media, you can email jackinyourhead@gmail.com and send in your questions. And we got one earlier. Let me pull it up from the In Your Head Question Man. God, come on. Jackman, I am a huge fan of yours and always in awe of your sheer brilliance and passion. Your pitch last week for the Boogeyman merchandise encompassed all of these elements perfectly. I'm sorry that your enthusiasm and genius intimidates OYB, but I love him as well. My question is, how do you come up with such ideas? What is your inspiration? It's a good question. I think my inspiration is the Headyverse itself. You guys inspire me to come on here and give it my all and share these thoughts with all of you. Every single one of the Headyverse I consider not just a fan of the show, not just part of the community, but a personal friend of mine. All right. He also has a question for Incher, which my phone is playing up here. There we go. OIB, you bring so much fun and joy to the show.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
My question for you
excitement
is, do you ever find yourself caught up with thoughts while watching wrestling that makes it hard to stay focused? Primarily the thought of smelling all that sweaty, unwashed man ass in the ring. from the In Your Head Question Man.
Can I strike his YouTube page?
I don't know if he has a YouTube. He's got
I need some repercussion, so it makes me feel better to privately strike YouTube pages and everything else. Just because I want it one way, just one way.
Interesting questions. Where were we? Oh, what is your dream match for Mark Henry in AEW?
Mark Henry versus Brian Cage to see if he can slam Mark Henry.
Mark Henry versus Marco Stunt. Battle of the Marks. Marco versus Mark. Boom. Do it up. As it's Pride Month, who are your favorite gay icons?
I like Elton John. He's probably my favorite.
Yeah, I think I like Elton John too.
Yeah.
I saw him in concert one time.
Oh yeah.
My girlfriend at the time, he came to Montgomery, Alabama, about 90 minutes from where I live, and I went and saw him in concert. I know a lot of his songs, and in exchange, she had to go with me to Armageddon in Birmingham. This was like 20 years ago when they had the 6-pack Hell in the Cell. I thought that was a good exchange.
Yeah. I went to Elton John show back in, it's like late 90s in Charleston, and it was a hell of a show. Great concert.
I'd have to say as far as gay folks, it's Elton John or Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Two of my mom's favorite singers. I bought my mom for her Christmas last year. There's a mouse just running across the top here. I bought her a Freddie Mercury candle. You know those. You guys would probably get mad. I about to say this. You know those candles that are like the religious candles that usually have like religious figures on them.
Yeah.
It was one of those, but it was Freddie Mercury on it.
Oh, okay.
I have one over here.
If y'all saw the movies, what was better, Bohemian Rhapsody or Rocket Man?
I would say Bohemian Rhapsody's better, but I liked Rocket Man all right. It was a little
kind of like this, but it was
yeah.
I was not a fan of Rocket Man. I thought it should have been one thing or the other. Should have been a straight biopic or the kind of the fantastical thing, but it was a weird mix of both, which made it not work. Who will be the tag team to beat the Young Bucks for the tag titles? I think Moxley and Eddie Kingston eventually.
I was kind of surprised the Young Bucks held on. I really thought that'd be one of the titles that changed hands. I knew the women's title would change hands. I knew the world title was not going to change hands, but I thought for sure that Moxley and them would win. Maybe if they only held on to it for a short time.
I think they're pretty hot act right now as far as they really have the heel thing going for them. So I thought it worked.
I agree.
I wasn't disappointed. I mean, because I like the Bucks anyway. I mean, they're one of the best tag teams. They're like one of the best tag teams in the world. I would like,
the Young Bucks mark here for a long time.
What if AEW ever brought in the Briscoes out of Ring of Honor? You think about some of the matches they could have.
Yeah.
It would be
good. I haven't heard from them in a while. I mean, I know they're on Ring of Honor. I just haven't been watching the Ring of Honor. But
it would be nice for them to have a run on one of the national. I know Ring of Honor is on TV, but it would be nice for them to have a run on TV, like in AEW or WWE or NXT before they get too old, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
they're part of that big group
they've been there
of guys
Ring of Honor since day one.
The only acts that never did.
They were on the very first Ring of Honor show.
Yeah.
That whole group of people all had, runs places. Thoughts on Reginald defeating Shayna Baszler?
He did?
I guess.
Yeah. Well, it was the fire in the ring once again distracted Shayna. And Reginald rolled her up.
Reggie.
And now Shayna's going to challenge Alexa Bliss next week.
Oh. She's saying, why do I fool with him when I could just go straight to the source? And that is Alexa Bliss.
And Shayna called Alexa Bliss's dog an idiot or dumb.
Whoa.
You're a dumb dog. Dissing on the dog.
So I got something here to show you guys.
Oh man, I'm out of here. If it's something negative,
no, it's a picture from 5 years ago. I was hosting House of a Thousand Corpses panel, and so this guy goes, "Who's the two men on the left, Neil?" And I was like, "That's Sid Haig up here and me." And so then the guy replies, "Neil, you got a delicious bubble butt, yummy."
Oh gosh.
What the hell?
And then he says, "You are a hot daddy."
Weird. Damn. Man. Did you get his number?
Have to look up after showing. It's Pride Month. So. Oh man. Roman Reigns versus John Cena, the rumored match at SummerSlam. Is this a match that you would like to see? Yeah. If they do something with it, yeah. I haven't seen Cena in the ring for a while, so yeah.
People would still boo Cena as much as they have worked on making Roman a great heel. They would still boo Cena.
Yeah, that is a problem actually with the match because Roman is on fire right now as a heel. Maybe if you actually want to, because eventually you're going to turn Roman face. Maybe that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
I don't think you'd want to do it yet, though, because you still have the whole thing with Usos to play out and stuff.
And plus, Cena's been on TV, but not on WWE TV. He's on Wipeout on TBS. He's in that Experience commercials and other commercials as well. So,
yeah,
Cena, it's on TV.
Favorite character in the Lord of the Rings trilogy?
Probably
Samwise, pretty cool.
I like the
wizard.
Gollum.
Gollum is cool. Yeah, there's a lot of them actually. Do you like that AEW always advertise matches for the next Dynamite a week in advance? Yep, I like that. I think promoting stuff's always good.
Mm-hmm.
What was the next show they brought up? Didn't they say they were doing another show in July?
August, I think. And
yeah.
September, isn't it? September?
No, I think they said August.
Okay. Because I think the one I'm going to is in September. Will the Inner Circle and Pinnacle have one more rubber match than the feud? Yeah, definitely at least one more. What do you follow it up? What's the next match, though? Because you already had the Blood and Guts, and then you had the Stadium Stampede. What's another match you could do? It's weird to just have a match in after.
Let's see. I guess like a Survivor Series kind of thing.
Elimination?
Yeah.
That would work. That would be good, actually. Yeah. That would work.
Mm-hmm.
Which current ex-WWE star from the Attitude Era will sign with AEW next? I'm
Attitude
with guys from the past coming in. That's always happened the whole time I've watched wrestling. When I was a kid, they'd bring guys from before my era in. Bruno Sammartino would make a comeback.
Maybe an old buddy of Christians, Gangrel.
I don't know. There's not too many of those guys left that could still have like an actual.
Yeah. Maybe Foley.
I mean, they could sign guys like that as like a non-wrestling role.
Mm-hmm.
As a wrestler, though, I don't know. I don't know if there's too many of those guys around. Maybe Conan. They could sign Conan eventually. Besides just doing Conan's great on the mic too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If they ever did split up Inner Circle, you bring in Conan and put him with Proud and Powerful, that would be good.
Yeah, that would be good.
Which current? Oh, we did that one. What grocery? Good night, Lexar.
Nighty night, Lexar.
Don't pee the bed.
I never pee the bed.
Good man. Good man. What grocery shop do you shop at? And any funny memories? I got two: Stop and Shop, and the other one's Market Basket. Actually, I do have a funny story because twice now at Market Basket, I wore my basket case shirt, and people thought I worked there.
Really?
Yeah, they started asking me like price of chicken or something. I was like, "What?" Like, "Well, don't you work here?" I'm like, "No." And like, "Why are you wearing a shirt for the store?" And I'm like, and I'm thinking, God, imagine if they did. It does make me laugh that they would have their employees wear a basket case shirt with like this crazy like cut off half person in a basket. But
the ones I go to most is probably Kroger's, Walmart, Save-A-Lots every now and then I go to Dollar General quite a bit. And Walmart, I was accused of being a secret shopper once just from walking around and looking at stuff. A man looked at me and said, "You're a secret shopper," like as like a guy looking for like shoplifters. And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And then I got in line to buy like some stuff, and the guy was ahead of me, and he like looked back and he started laughing like, yeah, really, like you're gonna buy something. And I'm like, what the hell is this guy talking about?
Did you stop going then?
I mean, maybe he was shoplifting and he thought I was looking.
Probably.
I mean, why would you
like
think
a guilty
that?
conscience? Yeah.
Yeah. And then another time, this was at the beginning of COVID, I walked into Save-A-Lot, and a girl said to me, "Sir, these times are reserved for older people." And
in the morning, yeah.
And I was like, I guess she's kicking me out. So I left. And as I was walking out, I was like, I heard her say, "Oh, you don't have to leave." And I just kept going just because at that point I thought I was just being kicked
out. What else are you supposed to do?
Yeah, so I left. So that's about the only two stories I can think of right at the moment.
Is Don Callis a better commentator than Big Show? I'd say yes.
Oh yeah, for sure. Easily.
Any memories of the first Jurassic Park?
Oh, I went to it in theaters. I went to it with my dad and my brother, and I remember watching it.
Yeah, I remember that was. I think it was the biggest line I've ever been to see a movie. I remember we couldn't go open at night. We couldn't go for like the first week because it was so busy. But I remember standing in a big long line to see it, which doesn't happen really. It seems like a thing of the past, standing in line, standing in a big long line to see a movie. Was that and a couple times like the Halloween marathon I go to. We had to stay in line, but it was like it's a cool feeling though that everyone. Oh, we did get in a big line too for Endgame, the Avengers movie. But it is fun to go see a movie with like a giant crowd that's like really excited to see it.
Yeah, for sure.
Favorite Steve Martin movie, The Jerk.
Oh, Trains, Planes, and Automobiles.
Oh, that's up there too. Yeah, got a lot of them. That and The Jerk for me. AEW have signed Mark Sterling and Bear Country to full-time deals. Thoughts? I actually like Bear Country. Mark Sterling, I don't care about, but maybe he'll win me over. We'll see.
Give him a chance, I guess.
Their setup for that was not good though. I'm a big AEW fan, but that whole setup was not good. It's kind of a playoff on the old when Macho Man had Elizabeth, and they kept teasing that was it Slick, was it Bob, or maybe Slick wasn't there, but was it Bobby Heenan, was it Freddie Blassie, was it Mr. Fuji? All these guys ended up being Elizabeth, and they also did the same thing with Bam Bam. Who was his manager going to be? Was it Slick? And then it was Sir Oliver Humperdinck. So they've done this before, but they only teased like it was Mark Sterling or Matt Hardy, and then it was just Mark Sterling like the next week. Like it didn't go on long enough, and it's not really a good reveal.
Yeah,
you either have to reveal someone that's people know, or if you do someone like Elizabeth that had that worked with Macho Man, but
wasn't very well executed.
No, I don't think it was done very well. Has Incher ever wept while masturbating?
All the time, yeah.
Use your tears.
Do you not? Do you guys not?
Oh God.
Tears of joy or shame?
Just all of the above.
Jason wants to know, should an annual New Jack cutting bitches and throwing them off scaffolds event replace the King of the Deathmatch tournament?
No, I think New Jack's about the only person who could get away with such dastardly deeds and still be so well received. Like, he would do stuff that was just straight up illegal, and people would still be like, "Oh, it's New Jack," though,
Cargill, Gary says Cargill needs a good manager, not anyone associated with her yet. Yeah, I would either do that or just not even have a manager, because she actually is a pretty good talker. She's someone that's similar, but she's better, I think, than Anthony Ogogo. But I do think she would have been better off if we didn't debut her on TV until she was a little more seasoned, because she's actually, I think she has a lot of potential to be a star, but she's still pretty green. But she's more along than a go-go, I think. Does Jack think he'll ever run into that girl he didn't realize was asking him out? Yeah, all the time. She works at the grocery store I go to, so I see her a few times a week. For anyone who didn't know, I post this on Facebook. The girl works at my grocery store. Usually the scratch ticket girl. She also works in the pharmacy part of the grocery store.
So she sees all that money you've been winning.
Yeah. So the other day I was leaving and she came out of the store with me. She did the other week too and took off her mask. Like, oh, see, I have a face or whatever. It was kind of funny. But anyway, she came out of the store. Then she was like, oh, is there is there good places to eat? Since you walk all the time, you must know the good place to eat around here. And I was like, my favorites are Captain Scott's, Moto's, my pizza place, and Fatty's. And she's like, oh, which one's your favorite? If are you gonna, I forget something about you're gonna stop today or something. And I was like, oh, I was planning on cooking tonight, so I'm not gonna get anything. And she's like, oh, okay, well, have a nice day, and I'll see you. I was like, yeah. And so I started walking out, and I was like, oh, I think she was asking me out, for dinner, but I didn't realize at the time. But yeah, I see her all the time.
Whoops.
I think she's like 19, so that kind of makes me kind of a creep. I think. I don't know. If I would 19. Go out with her. I don't know. She might be a little older than that. I don't know, but she might be younger than that. But I don't know. She's probably half my age. John Barker, should Mandy Rose have taken the offer to do a porn scene?
Wow.
All honesty, I say no. They offered her $1 million. If
Who
that's
did?
not something you want to do, I say no.
Some company or something.
Yeah, I don't know who it was.
Oh, yeah.
I know
I'll do
I'm
that.
looked at I think I'm looked at as kind of a an old timer in this kind of thing, but I don't think being in porn and stuff is something to be really proud of. Now I
No,
feel
no.
weird. But hello.
Hey.
Our graduate is here. To join
Oh,
us.
congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. Very good.
Songman wrote you a song, I guess, on Facebook.
Yes, I saw it. It was a good song.
You're welcome.
Dr. Seuss of In Your Head here.
Hmm.
All grown up and graduated. Well, congratulations. Would you guys now see a weird asking these porn questions here. Ron Bart, would you guys have reviewed it?
I think Jack would have. I don't watch such things.
I think yeah, right. I think Spectrum is our reviewer for the site.
Yeah, I thought Spec's son. That's his detail for the website.
Which female would you like to see take the deal?
Let's see. Mae Young, she's gone, right?
But I mean, if that's your deal, though, I don't know.
Shoot. I don't know.
Linda McMahon.
Linda McMahon. That'd be interesting.
Owl, what is your favorite Martin Short movie?
Martin Short?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Martin Short. I never really find him very funny.
Probably Mars Attacks because
I like Mars.
But yeah, would you say that's a movie of his?
No,
what was that one where he was like a fugitive with the little girl and all that? I can't remember what it was called.
I know. I always think he's just annoying. I don't really find him funny. But what's the one where it's the three of them? That one, I guess.
Three Amigos.
Yeah, I mean, I really like that movie. I know people love it, but what are Martin Short movies? Let's see.
Jeez, Martin
Father
Short.
of the Bride, Clifford, Inner Space. I don't know. I don't know if I have a favorite Martin Short movie. I guess I have ones I don't like. I like not as bad as other ones or something.
I guess I'm going to say Mars Attacks, even though it's like he really wasn't in the whole thing. But Three Amigos is, I would say Three Amigos is pretty good.
Yeah, I'm not really a big fan. I know a lot of people love it, but I don't know.
I can't. Yeah, nothing's really popping in my head as like the definitive Martin Short movie. I know he was Edward Grimsley or whatever, but
what about the Santa Claus 3?
Was he in that?
It's one of the 4 movies they say he's known for on IMDb. The Santa Claus 3, Inherent Vice, which I've never even heard of, Three Amigos, and Inner Space. Inner Space, I think that one's pretty good. I don't remember.
I'm going to say Three Amigos just because he's been throughout the whole thing. But I would have said Mars Attacks, but that's not really a Martin Short thing. He was in it, but not the whole thing.
I say screw that guy. Overrated.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate him or nothing, but I mean, I want to say just screw him.
Dobbs Dean Maya. A man came through the yard with a shank. Try murk me in it. But true say man wasn't ready, but luckily the Jakes came through the save man. What the fuck?
See, like, it's like his dog talking to him and telling him to write these letters at this point. Like, what's up with Dobbs? He's lost his mind, I think.
Yeah, I hope he don't turn like Charlie Bucket. Is it
Travis
true that
Bickle, I think, not Charlie Bucket's from Charlie the Chocolate Factory.
I shouldn't have mentioned, but Charlie Burkett used to call him Without Your Head. He's got some issues.
Oh.
I don't know if
you said Charlie Bucket.
I did, but yeah, I was referring to Charlie Burkett, but I always call him Charlie Bucket.
As long as
he's not doing well. Is it true that Incher and his arcade friends are going to start a group called the MAME Event Mafia?
That's a good idea. The MAME event. If you don't know, that stands for Multiple Arcade Machine Emulator, I believe. So that's what that is for.
Urias, our boy Urias Tosh, and a congrats to Vic's daughter as well. Dobbs, did you know that Shaq is a Freemason? I did not know that.
I didn't know he was a flat earther until last week. So
yeah, that's pretty sad.
I really would like to see that show being made where you get like a bunch of flat earthers and like abduct them and then just keep driving on the ocean and just like we're about to fall off. Just to see what their reaction would be.
Isn't it mind-boggling that there are people who believe this?
Yeah, it is pretty bad. Like, what could you call it? Like scared straight for the flat earthers? Like
I just thought, look at these buffoons.
Like, we're not falling off. You see?
What at the end of the show is they just fall off like an old like Monty Python like cartoon, like when it's like the cutouts and everybody just falls off the edge of the earth.
That'd be pretty crazy. Like,
holy shit!
What happened like that?
How does it get night and day if the Earth's flat? Wouldn't it just be always night or day for the whole world?
You're asking
like
too many logic.
Maybe they think it like the sun revolves like in a circular fashion. Maybe I don't know.
But if let's say this is the Earth, this
that won't work.
Thing, if the sun's up here, so it's like day for the whole world. But once it gets down here, it would be night for the whole world. There wouldn't be like different days and nights for everybody else. That doesn't make any sense. There's so many things that make no sense about
it. Like, it's hard to even put myself in the head of somebody who believes the Earth is flat.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to even look at it like that. I mean, like, it just doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Why would they have kept it a big secret? Like, what could be the benefit of it? What would anyone get out of it?
Doggo 13's suggestion for my show is Scared Round. Like, this is they get scared into believing that the world's round.
I wonder if there's any flat earthers who listen to the show.
There probably is.
I'm actually out of here, guys. Have a good night.
We've offended Songman because he's a big
Songman.
All right, good night.
We'll see you next week.
See you next week. Take care, buddy.
Have you listened to J. Cole's new album? I don't even know who that is.
I don't even know who that is either.
No. Owl, if Jack saved Intra's life, would Intra give him a blowjob? This is one I want to know the answer.
Do you even want one? I mean, like, is that? I mean,
are you good at
something you're looking for? I always assumed you were joking whenever you would make jokes.
This goes back. This is a playback to a previous.
I mean, I can like decipher this.
You are correct, sir. It is. It is all a joke.
Oh well, that the quotation marks at the end makes me wonder.
That's like one of those things like someone says something to you and like, are you joking or serious? And it's like, well, it depends, you know. Are you into the idea? And then it's serious. If not, it's just a joke.
Yeah.
Owl, would the bird stop singing so gay if Intra saw a grown man naked while leaving an upper decker?
Wow. So I'm seeing a man gay while leaving an upper decker? Would that make the birds stop?
I didn't realize this, but there's an upper decker story in the final episode of Louis C.K. show,
and he's been canceled.
Yeah, so bad thing. The guy dies doing leaving an upper decker. He falls and hits his head and dies.
That would be a bad way to go out.
Raider Dre, I need an idea to sell Boogeyman merchandise, Jack. Can you please give me an idea to how incorporate worms into merch sale? That's a good question. I'll think about it and we'll get back to you next week. What would Incher do if he got a black woman pregnant? He would do the manly thing, and no matter who he got pregnant, he would make her an honest woman and raise that child as his own.
Most definitely. Gosh, people think I'm like some screwball monster or something. What the hell?
Raider Dre. Well, anyone who listens to their show knows Incher, he was getting all excited when Naomi would come out and start grinding on the.
I miss that. I miss that maneuver she used to do.
Man, that was somebody that seems like they've really. I mean, I was never a big fan, but it seems like they've really not cared about her lately. Huh?
Yeah. She hasn't been around at all. I mean, she's come back here and there, but like she did make a return.
Seems like she makes more comebacks than anything. Like she just comes back and then that's the end of her. Raider Dre, what would Incher do if he was chosen to be one of the Men in Black? Here comes Men in Black.
I would probably go and
the One in Black, OIB.
Do Wacko Bob a solid and erase his memory, so he wasn't so infuriated by.
If you could erase your own memory of any memory of the Headyverse, who or what would it be?
Probably the night Fidel Sierra was on the show. Just gone. It's traumatizing.
So you could relive it for the first time if I rebooked him.
Oh my goodness. You want to do that to me, would you?
Raider Dre, can we please get a replay of Bound for Glory theme song sung by no other than Jackie Jones? That one we could actually play. Oh no, I don't know. Because I sampled, this old kind of unknown song in some of the music. So I don't know if we could play it on here.
Yeah.
Owl would Incher watch Marilyn Manson's home movies.
Well, is that something like he has home movies? It's been
of him like raping his old girlfriends or something.
Oh Lord, no, I don't want to watch that.
Brian Matthew Clutter. When we went on vacation to Tennessee a couple months ago, my wife wouldn't let me put The South's Going to Rise Again from 2000 Maniacs on our travel playlist. Is this grounds for divorce?
I don't think so. I think she was probably in the right for not letting you do that.
Yeah. Is this sign I can't show because this one actually might get banned. Is this sign the real reason Incher quit working at the drunk tank? So there's a sign that says absolutely no masturbation on company time, and it's actual picture of a guy wanking off with the circle and the thing through it.
They had to be funny. They knew they were making something funny when they did that. They had to have.
Jason Mitten, hire, cancel, kill for Joey Ryan, Jimmy Havoc, Marty Scurll. I'd hire Marty Scurll. I killed Joey Ryan. I like Jimmy Havoc, so I hate to cancel him, but I guess we'll cancel him.
Yeah.
3 for 3.
Yeah, pretty much.
Jason Mitten, how many commentators does a company need for 2 television shows and 2 YouTube shows?
Not as many as AEW has.
No. But if a real question, I guess 8. Some people say that Snickers looks like black dicks. Is that why Incher likes to eat them?
Who asked that? Is it Owl again?
Yes, you asked that.
I don't think that would be a weird peanut. Aren't they like almost like a brick shaped? You know what I mean? They're not like round, are they?
If only they had a dog shape candy for Owl.
Owl can
strike.
But we got Urbino over here. Owl can
I mean, he wants one way. He just wants to say anything he can about me, and then I don't say anything. So fuck him.
Owl, can Jack and Intra give us a full review of the Army of the Dead?
I haven't watched it. Have you watched it?
I tried, but I thought it stunk. I mean, it's honestly not terrible. I saw, but I honestly just it wasn't interested at all.
I think
it looks it looks ugly. It's a very ugly looking movie. Use this weird lens where only thing in focus is like the center thing and everything else is blurry. I'm not sure why he did this. I don't like the man's movies.
I think the ship has sailed with zombie stuff.
I agree. If you're going to do a zombie thing, it has to be something really original.
Yeah.
I've seen a few over the years, like Train to Busan, Korean zombie movies, really good. There's been a few of them. The girl with all I forget what that's called. There's been a few of them that are good, but there are movies that did something original. This was very just, I don't know. For me, it was just everything I've seen before. And I wasn't interested at all. I just shut it off after about 40 minutes because I saw it's another hour and 45 minutes. I'm like, good Lord, why does this need to be like almost a 3-hour movie? I'm fine with long movies if they're good. But Jonathan Jackson, is Randy Orton the real Forbidden Door? Interesting. So he's got pictures here of all the guys that Randy Orton. See, look. So if you're in an angle with Randy Orton, it leads to you going to AEW.
Yeah, it is pretty unique that a lot of people switch to AEW.
Does that mean the Fiend's on his way to AEW?
It's possible. I heard, like, what was that about him? Like, he might be hospitalized or something.
Got some like mental health issues, which is too bad. It does ask the question, though. I mean, I feel bad. I do not make light of anyone with mental health issues, but how do if you have someone on the roster who can't deal with stuff and just takes himself off the show, even when he's in a big program and stuff, I don't know what do you do with him? Can you push him?
It'd be kind of hard to. I mean, because like you have to depend on him somewhat, and like you got him into this angle that you've invested a lot of money into, and then they just, I mean, it's hard to.
Yeah, and I have sympathy. I have total sympathy for someone, if he battles depression or anything like that. But I don't, at the same time, it's still a show, and you have to rely on ongoing, stories.
I mean, it's just how it is. I mean, it's the nature of the beast. I mean, you can't just stop something when it's in full motion and then just be like, oh, well.
Yeah.
I mean,
I read something, I think it was on Instagram he posted, and it was basically saying about how bad he felt reading people saying they didn't like the WrestleMania match or one of the matches. And like, I felt for him, but honestly, the match wasn't good, but at the same time too, it's another thing. Like if you're on TV or if you're on the internet, if you do anything, publicly, you're going to have to deal with people who don't like it. I mean, that's too bad. It's too bad. There are people who can be really mean and stuff, but it's hard. I mean, if you take that to heart, it's hard. You're going to have a rough go at it.
Yeah. I mean, there's been several people who didn't enjoy our fine broadcast, but
right. I can't lie. Sometimes it gets you down, but at the end of the day, you got to realize, you think of, well, what I do think, well, look at all these people who do like it, call on the show all the time, come on the Zoom and are in the chat. But if you let that stuff get to you, I mean, I think at some point you have to ask yourself, is it worth doing then? And if it isn't for you, then just stop doing it. Or just do not pay attention to it because it'll drive you crazy.
Yeah, but people always want to take a shot at somebody. If they're not taking shots at you, then there's something wrong, Like, it's like
no one's gonna.
You're on this level for a reason, and they're jealous that you're on this level, so they want to take a shot at you.
There's a few things there. I mean, not everyone's gonna like what you do. So there's going to be people that genuinely don't like what you do. And then the internet, I mean,
it's the
anyone who's been on the internet knows, especially the Fiend's a younger guy than us, Bray Wyatt. So he probably grew up with the internet more than I did. So he's had to been around it. You have to know that it can be a really negative place and there's trolls and stuff. So you have to just know this is what you're going to deal with, especially if you're on someone that's on TV so much.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying it's good that that you have to deal with that, but you have to deal with that. So either you have to deal with it or don't be on social media.
Just don't pay any attention to it.
And if it does bother you, just I don't know, get rid of Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff. Because it's not going to go away, and it'll get worse if people find out it bothers you.
Yeah, it does seem like if you do like feed into it, then it certainly does get worse. But I don't really care. I know it's like if I just don't react to things, it's not going to be very entertaining to the show but like I know in my head that it's best just not to play into things, but where's the fun in that?
I agree.
But yeah, it's a shame that he's having issues with that, but I mean, it's like you say, that's just the nature of the beast. I mean, you're in the entertainment world. People on the internet are vicious. I mean, some people, that's all they live for. It's like they're just soulless. Like they can't like identify with that you're a person on any level. It's just like they're just like this shark that just scours and just keeps going and going and going, and there's no stopping it. I mean, it's just like they have no conscience.
Yeah, and you have to realize a lot of them, this isn't necessarily their actual opinion on it. They just are trying to attack somebody.
I mean, people take shots at the AEW show, and it's like...
Yeah, and some people genuinely don't like it. Some people admit they don't even watch it. So, like, how can you have such a vehement hatred for something you don't even watch?
Mm-hmm. You get that with everything too. I mean, like any form of entertainment, there's going to be people who just hate on something and they really haven't even tried it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're not watching it.
I'm not gonna say I'm not been guilty of that, but I genuinely try to stay away from doing that because it's stupid and it's a waste of your time, and also the idea of trying to talk someone out of liking something is kind of
it's like this. I have never watched a Fast and Furious movie in my life.
Yeah,
I will say it doesn't look like my kind of movie just based off the advertisement. So I'm not going to say the Fast and the Furious 1 or any of them is a terrible movie. All I'm going to say is I haven't watched it, and it
I agree.
But
there are people who will go on and on about stuff that they never watched, and to me that's like mental behavior. I don't understand it.
Yeah. I don't get it either. I think
there's really a thing on the internet about like people will be proud that they've never watched an episode of Game of Thrones or The Walking Dead or anything. And it's like, yeah, that's cool. Who cares? Honestly, who cares? Well, I don't know why. It's not a badge of honor that you've not watched something.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, yeah, I don't get that either. Like, I mean, I'll just say I haven't watched something if I haven't watched it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't watch WWE anymore, besides the pay-per-views. I just don't understand it. All right. Well,
Tyler S says I watched the one with was Kurt Russell in a Fast and Furious?
Not that I know of, but I didn't know.
Kurt Russell and The Rock in the first one, they were good.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I didn't know if Kurt Russell's in the Fast and Furious. That's news to me.
Yeah, I didn't know it either.
I know The Rock was, but I'm not sure what you're talking about there, Tyler. But
yeah, I don't know. I'm with you though. They don't look like my kind of thing, but that don't mean whatever. If people like them, whatever. All right, Minch Man, Vic Schiavone,
yes,
you good?
I'm good.
I am good. Vic, you're an Iron Man. You stuck through the entire show. Give yourself a Barry Horowitz pat on the back for that one.
Barry Horowitz, a very excited man when he goes to the subway.
He is. I'd seen that picture. He was just like, yeah. Maybe he's just really hungry.
Maybe that's cool.
I know.
Could you imagine being that excited? I mean, it's good though. Be like, wow, if something like that excites you that much, you could live a pretty sweet life. Be like,
I know, like now that I count calories and I don't snack between meals hardly. Like everything I do, I log it and make sure that I'm not going over my calories. But like when it's dinner time and I'm going to Subway to get my dinner, I am kind of happy to be eating. It's weird.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm the same with you. I do snack though, but I eat like healthy snacks in between stuff.
I don't. It's probably why I'm so red in the face. Just ate some corn dogs. Got the sodium all going. Going to kill over like the Ultimate Warrior.
Hopefully Kurt Russell's the bad guy in Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, but that's not Fast and the Furious.
We weren't even talking Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I like Guardians of the Galaxy. It's part 2. He's the bad guy. All right, Inchman. We'll see you next week. We'll see the Headyverse next week. Oh, I don't know, actually. I might not be here next week. I have a surgery next Wednesday.
Oh, well, good
and I have to be at the hospital 6:30 in the morning, so I probably won't be doing the show.
I see.
So we'll probably take next week off, but we'll be back the week after. I forgot about that.
Yeah. All righty, buddy. Well, good luck with that.
Thank you. They're going to remove the veins in my leg with a little hook. So hopefully, the last surgery did nothing. So hopefully this one works. Well, I assume this one works.
What's Pinhead's name now? I know Clive Barker finally gave him a name because he doesn't like the name Pinhead.
Well, the original name is
it was like Cenobite, but
the Hell Priest.
Hell Priest, that's it. Yeah.
I mean, I think that's what he's called in the book.
Oh, what if the Hell Priest walks in on you, Jack?
It does sound very Hellraiser-ish. These little hooks going in and pulling my veins out of my leg. I don't know if I'd like to. I don't know, keeping them, but I'd like to get a picture of the veins. But I don't know if they'll let me do
that. That sends chills through me. I just it seems like
I think I mentioned this, but they gave me the choice. It was so strange. They're like, we can do this in the office, and we won't be able to give. We'll just have local anesthesia, so it'll hurt more. And we won't have proper lighting, and we won't have all the tools. Or we could do it in the hospital where they'll put me like under, so I won't feel anything, and they'll have the actual correct lights and all the tools. And I'm like, why is this even a question? Who would be like, just do it in the office where you can't see her.
You like living dangerously.
Like, why are you even asking me this?
Well, some people.
Vic's
my wife is that way. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I heard your wife was that way, but you said she would rather have the
she's
awake.
got asthma. So.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
But but if not, I don't know why they would even ask me. All right, we'll be back in a couple weeks.
Bye.
Bye.